A scene for generations. A DYAD in the Force.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to DYAD in the Force, episode 237. We have a surprise for everyone. We're not going to be talking about Star Wars. Yes, the title of it is Star Wars Talk, and we do have a guest that is incoming, as if it was a sequel from last week's episode. We have invited Sawyer's sibling Faith Maximum on to talk about fandom, so we will, in solidarity with the protests going on with the Writers Guild of America and with everyone's protest of the attack on the freedom of speech, we're just going to talk to you guys about whatever you want to talk about. And same when Faith joins the call. But Choco, hi.
Oh man, it's just funny times that we're living in, because I don't know. I'm legitimately scared. You know what I mean? Like things are frightening.
It's
there's some scary handwriting on the wall, and right now,
it's very. I never thought that the fear of Gestapo was would be a thing. But I could say that at least there's a small consolation in that there are some folks on the right speaking up against it. Do I agree with them? Those people? No, but hopefully they start to realize that what they've been talking about with freedom of speech is very, very under threat right now.
I mean, you're certainly old enough to remember this, but anyone else remember in what I said, like the 2000s, the 2010s, how we would make fun of Kim Jong-il and all the stuff, and how they'd be like, he has his own news, and then would be like, we the Oscars were tonight, and Kim Jong-il won in all categories, and like all this crazy stuff. And I just thought it was a joke.
We're in a very turbulent time.
I smell profit.
Elijah Adams super chatted 2.73 credits. Love, sympathy.
That's all you're gonna read, SH14? Okay. Shout out to Ilya with the £2 sterling super chat. Love, sympathy, and hope to my friends in the USA. We appreciate the sentiments.
You're supposed to read it in a British accent.
Love, sympathy, and hope to my friends in the USA. I've been watching a Welshman travel vlogger, so I have a lot of his accents in the back of my mind. Like he starts a lot of his videos with morning. Today I'm going to be traveling to, Anyways, I mean, times are tough, man. We literally have a president that is openly attacking freedom of speech. We have an FCC chair that is openly threatening broadcast licenses. And this is not where I thought the narrative would take us after last week's events. But here we are. Sawyer says, tell me why I am in Epic Universe with Brooke and I've been sending Faith Mario stuff all day and none of you told me this was happening. I mean, I took the initiative to message your sibling and we got to talking and they said that they would love to come on. I didn't think that... I probably should have, but I didn't think that more was needed. You know, they were very open about coming on, and they just messaged me right now, and they said that they were going to hop on soon, just finishing up some stuff. So we'll talk to them as they join. But, you know, this episode is all about you guys now.
Yeah,
we could talk about
we
a
want
lot
to
of
talk
other
with
things.
you. We can talk about fandom things, and just hang out. Anything we're looking forward to. I apologize if I seem low energy. I just feel a bit gutted, and scared. You know, like one of the reasons I started making content in the first place was when they started finding black men hanging in random places across the U.S. And I literally started making videos to cope with my anxiety because of that type of rise. And it's just,
It's scary.
It's a scary time to do anything.
And for, you know, for those that try to, I guess, lower the temperature, as it were, it's just not working because our political leaders aren't participating in it, which is kind of infuriating. Kenny says, definitely not a good day today. How are we all holding up? We're trying to hold up, you know. Thankfully, we have everyone to hang out with today. So it's made all of that much easier. But, you know, I just don't know what tomorrow, like my day to day was pretty, like, predictable for the longest time. But now I just don't know what I'm going to wake up to.
I mean, fortunately, we do have a place to stay in Mexico if it comes to that. But, you know, as someone who has been, you know, studying history, it's... Whew. I mean, it's beat for beat, bar for bar. Like, I don't know how anyone could deny it. I don't know.
Yeah. Apologies. While we're doing all this stuff, I'm kind of testing out chat themes.
I said, you speak Spanish? I do not speak Spanish, but my wife is Mexican. And...
Habla poquito español.
I mean, yeah, I do speak a little, but... And I can understand it a lot better than I can speak it.
How's that chat look? I know it's small, but we can always highlight the messages.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Geek of All Trades says, times like these, and then I suppose I should move that too. I'll put it right here. No, I'll just center it. I hope you guys enjoy live video production. Times like these, I'm so thankful to be able to just drown the noise with movies and other media. Authoritarianism is trying to peek its ugly head, and no one in power seems to care. Which, yes, that's what it feels like.
No, it's not trying. It has. It's here. There's a massive, faceless army with no accountability roaming the streets. There's, I mean, we're living in Star Wars. It just, I don't know what to say. So like in all this, you know, we have always said, you know, we're not a political show, and you know, it's never been the goal, but you know, this is just dangerous.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, whenever we talk about this stuff, when we talk about, you know, correcting misinformation and trying to normalize people of color and diversity in media, that's not political. You know, people existing isn't political. Right. And so when we make this episode about just talking about other things other than, you know, just in protest, we're still not a political channel. I mean, it's the freedom of speech is, yes, it is a political constitutional right, but we're not making like a left or right argument here. We're saying,
no, that's true. That's true. And we really never do.
But we do have a guest that we'd like to bring forward. Are you there?
I believe so.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Let me bring you on right now.
Absolutely. Oh, perfect.
Welcome to... Let me shift my...
Awesome.
Welcome to Diet in the Force.
Thank you.
If you would like to introduce yourself to the chat and let everybody know what you do, and yeah, I mean, what are your favorite things in fandom?
Certainly. Well, my name's Faith Maximum. I make very queer-centric content, mostly about Star Wars, but a couple fandoms in general. And my favorite thing about fandom culture, and this is a big hot ticket item that a lot of people tend to forget, is how it brings people together. It's how I've met all my best friends. It's how I've met all the people close to me, and sharing my love of media, any media for that matter, has always brought me closer to the people around me. And so that's why I do the things I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so for anyone in the chat, highly recommend just make stuff. Be creative, put yourself out there. It ends up, I mean, A, you'll end up enjoying it, you'll feel better about it. B, you'll get better at it. And C, there's people out there who love the exact same thing that you do, and you guys might never ever see each other unless someone shows up as a beacon to show that you're both there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not to like, I mean, I know that I sent you like a preemptive warning about our shift and our pivot in topic.
Yes.
It hit us like not 2 hours ago that we heard about the protests that are happening, and we can talk about other things, you know. We have a lot of fandoms. We're in the middle of Supernatural. I don't know what WB has to do with the protests, but currently it's just Disney for their silencing of Jimmy Kimmel. So I mean, I know anime. Do you watch anime?
Here and there. I'm really specific about the anime that I get really serious about. But I'm huge on like Initial D. I love.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yes. Okay.
That was involuntary.
No. I'm glad to hear it. Initial D and what Dungeon Meshi are like the two that like those latched on to me for sure. There's not a ton of anime that I've watched all the way through, but those two. Oh yeah, I can talk about those for hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Initial
Bunch of
question.
Meshi is amazing
Sure.
as well.
Initial question. Do you like Initial D for Takumi, the story, or are you into cars?
All of the above. I
Okay.
feel like Initial D is what got me into cars. And I feel like my love for cars ended up like lasting a little longer. Like I'll talk more about cars than actually well the series nowadays. But I'd say the story was a big part as well. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Takumi
Well,
as a
you-
character is great. No, but I'm a big Ryosuke fan more so. I can't lie.
Yeah.
You can have anyone's car in the show. Whose car
Okay.
are you
If we're going solely off of cool factor, it's gotta be Keisuke's FD RX-7.
That's so
Um,
popular.
It's beautiful. It's so pretty.
It is beautiful.
Either that, and then if we're going off of cool factor and function, either the Evos in second stage or the Suzuki Karachi.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know what's funny? In my travails with doing DoorDash since I got laid off, I met someone at Raising Cane's who was just like going bananas over JDM, and I was like,
Sure.
and I was like, "You're white. Like, what is this? Like, how did this happen?"
Yeah.
And then they said,
Right.
"Initial D." I was like, "Jesus." So, and I was like, "What is your dream car?" And she said, she said an RX-7, and I said, "Which one?" And she said,
Yep.
FD, and I was like, "God damn it!"
The thing is, okay, I will be honest with you. If I were to go out and buy an RX-7 right now, it would be an FC or an FB. Honestly, more
Okay.
likely an FB because I feel like those are even more fun than the other two. But it's just that bright neon yellow FD is just so memorable. to
It's
me.
it's
just
iconic. It's beautiful. Like, yeah.
It's iconic enough where Tokyo Drift took a yellow
Yeah.
one, and then they put the Veilside kit on it.
That
Everybody
Veilside
recognize
body kit
it.
is also sick. But if I'm picking a car, so one of the things that I used to do, like me and my friends growing up, we'd always race toge. We'd find like weird back roads and
Nice.
just all sorts of stuff. And so two comes to mind. And also being in Northern California, we were all just really big into Subaru. So, Bunta's car at the end is beautiful. I actually used to have a Legacy GT 92 that has the same 2.2 liter, Forged internal turbo that from Bunta's 22B. But the other thing is, we used to go around and test drive cars and just make up a backstory so that they'd let us. And I drove a Honda S2000, and it handled unlike anything I'd driven before. And so, I loved how that car felt. So, I might have to go with God Hands. With God Hands S2000.
I put recently. I put out like this long vlog about hunting for action figures, and I snuck in like this little 1 second clip of Godfoot screaming Doria, and it's the only reference that I've put in my videos that nobody has gotten yet.
That's awesome.
So,
I
yeah.
mean, you know me, I'm going for Godfoot's R34. It's.
I mean, I love the R34. The only thing that makes me not love his is the color. I'm not huge on the color.
Yeah.
Green is not my favorite R34 color. Midnight Purple, I mean, I'd buy 5 million. But
I mean, I always default to the typical Godzilla, which is that blue.
they said blue. So.
But everybody has those. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I see. Now that MF Ghost is out, I'm seeing so many GR86s on the road.
Yes.
It's not even funny.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, but I was so close to buying a BRZ for many years, and I might go back to it. I just drive a very simple car.
I test drove a BRZ once, and I was going to buy it the next week, and I backed out, and I kind of regret it. Really. Nowadays, though, I drive a 1991 Mercedes 190E, and it might not be the most me core car I expected to love, but it is lovely. I love her. She's great.
Oh, you know what? Like sometimes going old school is where it's at. You know,
Yes,
we
for sure.
I smell profit.
Obi-Kenobi super chatted 5 credits.
That voice
You
of
should play a game where you name the SW character and the kind of car they drive.
the voice of Hondo would probably be the most Star Wars we get on this podcast. But shout out to Obi-Wan Kenobi for the $5 ramen drop. Y'all should play a game where you name a Star Wars character and the kind of car they drive. I mean, outside of discussing the current events with, the news from Star Wars, I suppose this is like a harmless game. I guess I'll say, I was gonna jokingly say that Yoda drives like a smart car, but because he's so small. But let's go with something. All right, we'll go with Quinlan Voss. I'd say Quinlan Voss drives a. Let me think. If you guys have answers.
Okay, so I maintain that I maintain that Han Solo, the Millennium Falcon, is a Volkswagen Vanagon, and that it has the engine swap from the Subaru. What's it called? It's Flat 6. Why is my brain not working? I used to have 2 of them. Damn it. Anyways, that's what I maintain, because it's like it's crappy and it's like functional, but it's like it's got it where it counts, but it's gonna break down and you're not gonna find parts.
Oh my gosh.
Illy says Yoda drives a Mini. I mean, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
Makes sense.
makes a little too much sense. I'd see it. Kia Mundi and a Kia Soul would make sense because I feel like he'd have terrible taste. I see it for sure. It's arguably my least favorite car.
As soon as I named Quinlan Voss, like, I had to go down a rabbit hole of what actually he would drive.
2017 Subaru Outback because he's kind of a lesbian.
I mean, you're not wrong. Let's go with that. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll say that for now. I can see it like him and Ventress on like the worst road trip in the world.
And he's proud of how long it's lasted.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna push back on Kiadimundi though, because very specifically, I think he would drive the what's it called? The Reliant, the 3-wheel car.
Oh, yeah.
that's always rolling over, but he thinks it's the coolest thing in the world.
Oh my god, the car sucks, but I love that. I sell like replica kits for those things because people love how bad they are.
Okay, I feel like Mace drives. I'm sorry to say this. If this might offend Choco, I think Mace drives an M5.
Ooh.
I mean, I honestly would put Mace Windu in a Toyota Camry from 1998, and he bought it brand new.
I mean, it both works, I suppose.
It's got the safety standards I need. Like, all right.
Sawyerism says, what is even happening? We're talking. So Obi-Wan Kenobi asked, name a Star Wars character and the kind of car they drive. And I suppose I made an executive decision that this was okay to discuss since we're not really promoting anything in terms of like contemporaneous projects.
Anakin's Mustang is like a early 2000s, like with the live rear axle that that they've spun out at least once on a freeway.
Wait, are you sure that Anakin doesn't drive a Shelby?
Oh, hey.
Eleanor?
He's not that classy. He's not classy at
That's
all.
fair.
Like I'm in between, the 90s, like a late 90s, early 2000s Mustang or like an 80s IROC Camaro
Oh well, I was
with a T-top.
I was making an analogy that Anakin doesn't deserve the car, and you know, was his name Dallas in the movie, or Nicolas Cage's character? He just says, "I don't deserve you," and I'm like, yeah, Anakin doesn't deserve the car he drives either. You know.
Oh, I like that Obi-Wan is an Aston Martin.
I feel like
I mean,
that's yeah,
Like
absolutely
a classic one. Yeah.
He's gotta be in that British.
I was gonna say it has to be like an overly beautiful British car that probably costs him way too much money to keep running.
I know for a fact that Count Dooku is not driving, but being driven in a Rolls. And he's
Yes.
and he's perpetually in his pajamas. He's not
Definitely.
pajamas with cape. Anakin still has roll-up windows. Oh yeah, like the mechanical one. Yeah.
Going back to Quinlan, I'm thinking for me, my guess would be a Subaru Baja.
Wait, you're so right. Hang on.
It's still
Yeah.
a zoo
It's a
though.
very specific. It's still a Subaru, but it's got a little bed in the back and like.
I just realized the chat is big as hell.
I know. I noticed that too. I wasn't gonna say anything because I wasn't sure if it was normal. Clearly not.
All right, let's see. Gonna trigger a fake message. How's it look? That's too small now.
Speaking of fandom, though, something that took me by surprise is we got a trailer for the Dragon King. I don't know if any of you watched the Dragon Prince.
I do not.
That show's good, but it was a kid's show. I mean, it's not a kid's show. It's about like Avatar: The Last Airbender. In fact, it's some of the same makers. Made this whole series, and it's gone on. It's actually it's really good. And actually has fantastic representation. But it kind of ended, and I thought it was just over. The Dragon King trailer bored you to tears. Yeah, the trailer itself isn't exciting, but it's just the fact that last time we saw him, he was a little boy with a little tiny dragon, and now he's like a man, and the actual king, and like with a big giant dragon that shoots electricity. It's pretty cool.
Jeez. Those two sentences were so suggestive.
You know what? It's not. It just happens. All right, leave me alone.
Still need to finish the Dragon Prince. It slapped. Did I just like completely miss the train on this?
Must have too.
I mean, I've mentioned it before, and like Sokka's voice actor is like one of the main characters.
Sokka from Avatar.
Yeah, it's just one of those stories where the I don't know. There's a lot of depth and nuance behind all the characters and the character arcs.
Speaking of Avatar, I got my first comment on this. It's supposed to be Satele, of course, everyone knows. But someone was like, "Is that Toph?" And I was like, "You know what? Shut up." Because it does. I mean, like, you've got the bun.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I can see it, but it's funny.
Yeah. On the topic of tattoos, I kind of initially built my platform on TikTok because I said, really, I don't want to say inflammatory, but questionable things about droidicas. And that got me to such a point in how many followers it got me and how many jokes people made about it, to where I just got one emblazoned on my arm forever.
Oh, that looks cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I had my artist just go crazy on it. I'm like, make this look insanely good. He's like, I got you.
That's funny. Now we actually have a physical location, so whenever we have to ask the question, "Where are the droidecas?" It's right here. It's right here.
Hi, right here. I have multiple figures of him too. It's very healthy, I promise.
I don't know what this is in reference to, but it says Anakin would have Simon's yellow car from the In-Betweeners.
Oh, that's a British show that I have not seen, and
Oh right.
it's on my list.
They
Dang
should
it.
make this.
I wish I was better at watching TV or any series in general. I suck at it.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
it's too. So many shows are so long.
Like, I mean, personal anecdote. Like when I took a month and a half to catch up to One Piece, like I came back and there was like a new Predator animated movie, and like, you know, Alien Earth was coming out, and so I missed a lot in that time. So if you ever like dig your head in the sand for like 2 weeks, you've missed like 10 shows.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I've been unemployed for quite a while, and I can't catch up. So that'll tell you enough.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I actually have gotten a job now. Haven't started yet, but yeah, I think things are looking up, at least in that department.
Speaking of, Illy, I know that you messaged a while ago about offering your services for resumes and cover letters. I do have those resources. I'm just, I appreciate the offer, but the problem is not with my resume and my cover letter. I mean, I've had several bites, and over the years, the game industry just sucks right now.
It does.
You know,
My best friend is in the industry. She tells me everything.
every time I get a bite, there's either a hiring freeze, or I make it to the final round and I don't get it, or the day after, more layoffs. So
Yeah.
it's just a grind, you know. I have several mentors and several resources, lots of recruiter friends in the industry that help me on that stuff. So I'm not lacking in that department or in those resources. I just gotta, you know, I gotta find the right bite, you know, that with an industry that just lays off thousands of people every month. It's gonna be kind of like a needle in a haystack type of scenario.
Yeah.
I have friends
but-
in game in the industry. Yeah, I feel you exactly.
Faith, can I ask what you do?
But I do. So I'm a server at a local restaurant here in Denver, downtown, right across the street from our baseball stadium.
Okay.
I've been in the restaurant industry for most of my life. That's kind of been my thing.
Yeah, no, your family had the
Yeah,
Italian restaurant
for the
a long
longest time,
now.
and I guess I picked this job up because it was familiar more than anything. I even have some old coworkers who work there. I don't really see like my career being in restaurant work. It's just something that I can do. I also, if in a perfect world, I would like to solely focus on my creative endeavors.
Yeah.
Some of which I don't talk about a lot in public. Some of them are also the stuff that you guys have seen. And if I could get to a point where like I could at least sustain myself off of that, I think I'd be a lot happier. But I don't mind serving. It's okay.
I mean, we always do what we have to do. I mean, huge pay cut doing DoorDash, but I survive off of that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, TikTok is paying more these days, so I'm thankful for that. And still, I hope that nothing happens to it, because that is supplemental that truly helps on the backside of things.
For sure.
If you don't mind me asking, how young are you?
Me, I'm 22.
Oh yeah, you have a lot of time.
Yes, and I tell myself that all the time. I wish the people close to me would listen when I said that.
Yeah.
But I'm very aware of that, and I'd like to spend as much of that time as I can. Really push it for my creative endeavors. I got back into video editing like seriously recently, and I forgot just how fun it is. I also noticed someone in the chat just told me to have faith.
To the maximum. Is that how I'm supposed to respond?
It's one of those things you're like, yeah, but you've never heard that before.
The amount of funds that I can make off of my name, like it's constant. People are always making jokes, and sometimes I'm always making jokes. It's part of why I've changed my name like 5 times in my life. I'm definitely gonna stick with this one because if anything, it's probably the funniest one.
Okay.
Illy says, I didn't know you worked in games. I suppose, yeah, I got laid off before you actually joined our community, Illy. But for the longest time, I was a designer on Lord of the Rings Online. And then before that, I don't like to talk about those games. But Choco will mention it every once in a while to just bust my spot. But, you know.
Yeah, but in private. It's nothing dirty, by the way.
No. I didn't work in the adult industry, if that's what people are being put onto. But
Well, my next guess would be gotcha games, but hey, I won't pry.
no. I mean, I did a lot of arcade games. I did work with Terminator and Broad City.
Oh, really?
We were working on a Bill and Ted game, but the one that I don't really like to talk about is Teletubbies.
That's fair.
So
No,
now
I'm
it's
big,
out
I'm
there.
big on, like,
I mean, it's been out there. It's on my portfolio, but
No, I mean arcade stuff, even modern arcade stuff. I really I mess with a lot. It's my thing. I used to like tour the country to see all the biggest arcades around. I've been to Galloping Ghost in Illinois a bunch, and no, I really fuck with arcades. If I could say that, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Sure. You're good.
Okay.
Ellie says, I don't feel quite as young right now, yay. Not feeling like a baby here like I usually do. I mean, listen, our community runs the gamut, you know. We have DePaul, who's a grandpa. We have Master Allen. You know, for the longest time, I thought I was the oldest in the community. But no, I mean, like, this is a good thing about Star Wars and fandom in general, is that it's generational. And we'll have fans that, you know, are getting into it. Just like when we started TikTok in like 2019, we had like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds in our chat talking about the sequel trilogy, right? Because that's what they got into, right? We got in at like the originals and the prequels. Then some people got in at the prequels, and then people got in at the sequels. Now we have people getting in from Mandalorian. We have people getting in from Rebels, and like now Andor, which is a oddly like satisfying thing to hear. Because like
there's always fresh blood coming in, and it makes it a different story depending on where you came.
But it's a funny starting point too, because like they're jumping into like this. You know how we say
very dense.
Yeah. You know how we say like if you got in with the prequels, your main character is Anakin, right? And if you got in with the originals, your main character is Luke. But if you get in with Andor, you have zero context as to why this rebellion exists. You know, obviously you can take context clues from seeing how the Empire operates. And then, like, you can watch the TV show and stuff. But, like, as people that started with the originals and knows that, yes, there is this civil war, as it were, in the opening crawl. And then we have all of that background. So it's an interesting kind of entry point to witness. Illy says, Gen Z, like me? Yes?
Yeah. But no, that is the topic of like age and fandom is such a like interesting thing to me, because it's like the kind of thing where for the most part any person of any age can get into any fandom, and in most cases, not all cases, most cases, they'll be accepted, and that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That goes back to what I was saying at the start, where I'm like, it just brings people together, and it just, sure, there are a lot of unhealthy situations that it can cause, but also it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to share love in general.
As long as you're being safe and being smart
Exactly,
about it. But I mean, your sister came to stay at our Airbnb for a celebration before we had met. Actually, I think you may have met her before that happened. But I mean, when we did DYAD Con, again, people from all over, people from all ages, people from all races, and like.
How many
Probably
countries? How many countries?
5 or 6.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like people from New Zealand, I think,
That's
right?
really cool.
No, NAF is Australian.
Oh.
But yeah, it's from all walks of life, essentially.
Sure.
but you're really connecting on. I was having this conversation with my wife last night because there's some people I think she would be best friends with, but she's like, isn't it weird online? Isn't that like not real? And I'm like, no, it's more real because there's no facade. You're connecting based off of what's inside first, right? It's not like the person has to be in a certain age range or has to, you go to a bar, right? It's only people who live in this area who can afford to go to that bar. You know what I mean? Like this is it's open and you're connecting off of true commonality and not just convenience and proximity.
And it shoots off from there too. Like Choco and I met basically on the same mission, right? But we connect on games, we connect on anime, and a lot of other things. I mean, like that's how kind of like the concept of the dyad kind of sprung about. Is kind of finding out how much we share in common.
Absolutely.
I mean, just today finding out that he'd be God foot and I'd be God hand. That wasn't planned. We never
That's
thought
awesome.
about that.
Wow. It just happened.
That stuff happens all of the time. Yeah.
No, I get that. That's awesome.
And when Faith said initial D, we both
Yeah.
on cue went, ooh.
No, that was so awesome. That's I right off the bat having that be my first impression here. I'm like, yep, this is awesome. This is great.
That's not my engine. Remember me.
I'm so sorry to cut off your beautiful Leslie Paris singing. But since my content is mostly focused on one fandom in Star Wars, what I love to do is like sneak in something like a merchandise or like a random editing joke or just something else from something else I'm interested in, and that has caused me to also meet a bunch of like other people in separate fandoms, and seeing that overlap in such like a simple way is so cool. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Like you'll never see me make like a Star Wars video and be wearing a Star Wars shirt. Like today I made like a video about my tattoo, and I'm wearing a Murder Drone shirt. That's more in front than the tattoo is, and that always gets really positive reactions. I love that.
Oh yeah, I made a couple of Star Wars videos with Luffy.
Yeah,
on my shirt.
or like I have like I don't know if y'all ever played the game Ultra Kill, indie shooter.
That sounds familiar.
No.
Super fun. If you like Quake or Devil May Cry, you'll love those. You'll love that game. But I have a body pillow of the main character.
Okay, I mean I have a body pillow of Tally.
And I hide it in the background of my videos all the time, or whenever I'm live, I always have it like front and center. And
very nice.
It's so funny. It's so goofy.
See, this is why I don't talk about it. Ellie says, Teletubbies? Wait, isn't that weird AF Brit kids show from the 90s? You could say that. I don't have any stake in Teletubbies anymore, so you can say whatever you want about it. Cupco says, excuse me, I got in with the originals, and I'd like you to not disrespect my boy Wedge Antilles. I will.
Oh. Fair enough.
Let's see here. As a kid, there was a crow that always landed on my window that I named Wedge.
Oh, that's sweet.
I would have named him Sill. Anybody get that joke?
Yeah, I got it.
That's a bad joke right there.
Really random, and this I don't know if this will from a good conversation or anything, but your necklace, what is it?
This one?
Yes. It looks so familiar.
Fairy tale.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
That's the other side of this tattoo.
That's so cool. Okay. It was like messing with me when I saw it because I'm like, it looks identical to the Phoenix logo for the Final Fantasy XIV team, and I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta check. I gotta make sure.
It does, surprisingly. It actually also resembles the Chocobo as well.
I see a friend of mine is asking if that is the Faith Maxim. No, it's not. I'm gonna post it. It's one of them. There's like a few of us running around.
Does there exist a Faith minimum?
This is also something I hear all the time. Yes, I definitely have an evil Faith minimum twin out there somewhere who just sucks at everything,
Shout out to Condi Skywalker for sending 70 lightning bolts. How should I respond? get struck by lightning.
I've never.
Genuinely.
It's funny because I never know how to respond depending on what the thing is sent.
Right.
You know, like.
No,
I
TikTok lives are
just
so
default to
goofy.
finger hearts.
But I like
suppose.
lightning. Yeah.
Figured it was good.
Fairy Tale the anime. My partner is obsessed with that. What is your partner's
have good
favorite
taste.
character? And why is it Juvia? Just kidding. Who was your favorite character?
My favorite. I think. I go around a bit, but it might be Gajeel.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I do.
It was either that or Laxus.
Nexus is cool too.
Yes, Madeline, it is the Faith Maximum.
That's definitely my partner's account. Wow, the whole Faith Maximum crew is here. Hey guys, hey gang.
And then, again, we do apologize as normally. I don't know. I'm still feeling low energy. Like I'm not bringing it how we normally are. So, hope
I
you're
don't know
having fun
about that. I think the energy is perfectly normal, to be honest.
with it. Okay. It's just me.
Kandi Skywalker says Natsu for the win. You gotta be that. You're that basic bitch, Con. Like I swear to God. I mean, I have a Natsu shirt, so I can't talk, but yeah, my favorite's Juvia. I wish that Juvia would obsess over me like she does Gray, but whatever, I mean, Bix is already taken with Andor, so.
You mean Choco? I got approval from the wife as well. So
I don't know. Is that your
Fair enough.
baby she was carrying?
I mean, let's not talk about that.
No need to break any hearts today. It's okay.
When I watched it when I was a kid, I was Urza's strongest soldier. She's up there too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's no what's
Mommy
his name?
Urza.
Jalal? Is that his name?
Jalal was too obvious of the tortured bad boy who's like good-hearted, person.
Hold on. Madeline's coming in with the listen. Listen.
Okay.
Women in armor. Okay.
I mean, she has a point.
That's
I can't-
all kinds of armor too.
Oh yeah.
I see your women in armor and I raise you don't tell me I forgot her name.
Estep?
Mira Jane.
Oh,
Not in armor, but in demon stuff.
as a demon, yeah.
Close enough.
Which I will similarly raise Nico Robin, but I don't want to spoil anything.
Huh.
Let's see here. What else can we talk about? Have you watched Demon Slayer?
Actually, you're gonna kill me, but no. It is I believe my partner's favorite anime, and it bugs me to watch it all the time. But I have yet to actually sit down and do that. No,
Okay.
anime is just hard for me. It's like I don't know why, because I mean, I kind of do know why. I just struggle with TV shows of any flavor. And the longer or more popular they are, the harder I struggle to get into them. Not because I don't like popular things, but because I'm like, oh, there's so much stuff I gotta like absorb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, One Piece was a heavy one for sure. To get through.
Like, I want to get into One Piece. Like, I love everything I've heard about it, but I know full well I'm not gonna be able to watch or read that.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think it was Red Riding Hood one. He reckons it'll be an example of an anime I'll actually enjoy, funnily enough. The Red Riding Hood one. Was that the fairy tale character that Illy is talking about?
I think so, but I don't know who that would be.
I'm clueless on this topic.
yeah, I don't know, but
Have y'all seen the initial Drift Racer live action movie? If you're talking about the Chinese one, I have, and it's garbage.
I've heard things. I've seen clips.
The drifting in it is really good, but
Yes.
it's pretty garbage in terms of a
Yeah.
movie.
I haven't even seen Legend. I've seen
Iggy.
Legend. Right.
Terrible.
Anyone here cried watching One Piece? Yes.
Several times.
I would.
It's a thought that counts.
Yeah, I mean, and most media makes me emotional if I like it even slightly. So yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
The
you
thing
put
that gets
emotional
me
things in it.
is I always get got like by really random things that you wouldn't think should affect people.
No, me
Like
too. I get that.
like I watched all of Haikyuu, which is a volleyball anime,
Sure.
and I really liked it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I wanted to watch it with my wife, and so we sat down. We watched the first episode, and then I start crying, and she's like, "What's going on?" And like for me, I was like, I saw those boys work so hard that seeing them start over got me emotional.
No, I get that. That makes
Thinking of it, my eyes start to water. But
Yeah, you got me into the first season, and then like the day after I watched the first season, I was looking up clips of the Japanese volleyball team doing the moves, and I was like, "Dang, that like exists."
that's the other thing about animes. They can tell any story, but if they tell it well, I don't like volleyball. And then I watch this show, and I'm like, no, volleyball's kind of sick.
Right? No, I get that. That was me with cars in initial D. It's just like, I don't
Yeah.
care about it until it looks cool on a screen. Then I'm like,
Mhm.
hang on.
Define garbage. I love Vroom Vroom movies. So Initial D Drift Racer is on my list. Honestly, it's just incoherent in terms of a narrative. Like, it really is just kind of like dipping into the brand itself and just saying, let's drift.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know. I love slop movies to an extent, but like there's a difference between like bad movie and unwatchable. Because like bad can be a good thing. Like you can make a really bad movie and make it super entertaining. Obviously, The Room is the biggest example. But
Of course, yeah.
you want to like get really in there. What is it? The second Mortal Kombat movie from the late '90s,
Oh man,
Annihilation. Actually,
the claymation
insufferable.
dragon fight goes hard. All
I'll give
right.
you that. It's actually insufferable, but I can't help but adore it. Or the Street Fighter movie from the '90s. It's like it's so
That's
fun.
that's nostalgia glasses for me.
Yeah.
My example is the 1995 Hackers movie with
Oh yeah,
Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie.
for sure.
I know it's a bad movie, but I enjoy it for all of like the nostalgia I get from them talking about old tech and stuff,
Okay.
and
Well, so-
talking about it incorrectly. Too.
I mean, are we talking about the movie being bad, but we enjoy it, or we enjoying a movie because it's
Yeah,
bad?
That's
You
like
know,
two
because
different-
those are
that's
kind of two different.
yeah.
Like, I love Too Fast, Too Furious, which is not a good movie, but it's like, but you're laughing where you're supposed to laugh. You know?
Yes. No, actually, I fully
Um,
agree. Even with that specific movie, I fully agree.
Yeah, but then you watch Leprechaun 4 in space, and you know it's different.
I will
I get
say that Hackers is a bad movie, but I like it nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I don't know if I
Like-
like any movies that because it's bad.
Okay, that's fair. No, I definitely do. And video games. There are some like objectively terrible video games that I love because they're so bad. It's like the fact that they let this
sometimes
happen
the jank.
makes me love it.
Sometimes the jank is
My,
life.
my favorite example is like Devil May Cry 2. Like, I could easily say it's probably the worst video game I've ever completed. And I was laughing so hard the whole time to where I loved it in retrospect.
I mean, Star Wars Masters of Terrakasi. It's
Huge
not a good
one.
fighting game, but
Oh my God.
I love everything about that game. I will destroy anyone with Arden Lin. I still got all the combos memorized.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, I talk about Star Wars video games all the time, and there are so many bad ones, but most of the bad ones, I love them because they're bad. That's a great example.
Jedi Power Battles, the camera is absolutely
How did that game get a
ridiculous.
remaster? How did that happen?
But I love that game so so much. Okay,
Yeah.
that game is why I love Plo Koon. You know, that's
that's
where
fair.
my love for him started.
I mean,
I want to get on the soapbox about something with Star Wars and Star Wars video games.
okay. This is my thing, so let's go.
I feel like way too many people think Star Wars 1313 was the best game ever that never came out.
I am gonna agree with you.
I actually do get mad when I see people talk about it as like we were robbed of that, and I'm like,
I mean, it is a good concept. It would have been cool, but it also wasn't going to be like earth shattering. Most Star Wars games were cool from a conceptual level, and not from a "this is the best game I've ever played" level. 1313 would have been the same thing.
Yeah.
We really weren't missing out on anything huge. I don't think.
Yeah, it's
well,
it's
I have a friend that was working at that studio at that time, and was telling me stuff about it, and it sounded like they did have some really cool stuff, but in that time frame, a lot of those games, the reason they, I know people like to blame Disney for it, but it was actually George Lucas dicking around with the studios that caused them to fail. It actually caused one studio to go out of business.
Yeah. I mean, like, if we want to talk about Star Wars games that were canceled that actually are super upsetting, I feel like the biggest example to me is the Republic Commando sequel, because that game came out unfinished, ended on a cliffhanger, and the entire intention was to continue it in books and then eventually a sequel, and none of that ended up happening except a couple of books.
I feel like KOTOR 2 should have been canceled.
That's fair.
I liken that kind of talk to like the it's like the antithesis of the people that will proclaim a movie to be bad based off the trailer, right? So we have people who watch a trailer is like, oh my gosh, this is so woke. It's all about the black person when they see just the black person in 2 seconds of the trailer. And in this case, we have Star Wars 1313 looks cool. You know, we have our pre-rendered E3 demo.
Yep.
And they're like, that would have been the best game ever. So we don't know.
We don't know that. It would have been a cool concept, but we never saw more than a concept. So like, we don't know.
I'd like to see Disney revive it, and then
for sure.
it to be an ass game.
I think that would be awesome.
Okay, but then you know what the narrative would be.
Yeah, I know.
It was a good game, but then Disney came and ruined it. And you're like,
man.
All right, come on.
I don't know. I think that there is definitely room to like expand on the older games. What is that one team? Night Dive Studios they re-released Dark Forces. The 90s.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Doom clone. Calling it a Doom clone feels like calling it slop.
Everything was a Doom clone back then, though.
Exactly. Like, it wasn't really a Doom clone. The engine was original. They re-released it. That re-release was incredible. Like, the best re-release of an older Star Wars game we've ever gotten. And now they're doing Outlaws, which was LucasArts' like experimental, original, like Western shooter in the same engine. And if that does well, I think they're probably going to be contracted to do other older Star Wars games. I want to see that. I want to see a future audience get a chance to play something like Dark Forces 2. That game might not be good, but it deserves to be played.
What's funny is that, like, you know, with Doom clones and everything follows the technology. So when Z Space planar quads came in, which is essentially just like the first ever 3D space tech, like everything looked like Doom, you know.
Yes.
Ground Zero. Was it Zero Tolerance? Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein.
Baseball 2000.
Yeah. They all had the same tech. And so like when Modern Warfare came out, all those games started to look like Modern Warfare. It just follows the tech. And
For sure.
when Horizon
And
Zero
popularity.
Dawn, when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, everyone started jumping on single player adventure games again. So it just follows what's the new hotness in tech right now.
I see someone in chat saying, "Don't diss my boy Jarek with his stylish glasses." I'm not. He's I don't like him, but he looks kind of fresh on this.
Madeline says, "I love woke garbage."
I love woke garbage too.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is
It's
that
like
most
you say,
people,
if the haters, if they hate it, I'ma have it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
what's funny is that most people don't realize how woke things were, and still are, but because of the zeitgeist today, people act like it's a new thing. Like Choco was just telling me how kind of woke the old Legends was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even One Piece that came out in was it 99?
Mm-hmm. One Piece is like there's a ton of queer characters. There's a ton of
One of the most popular. I'm not huge on One Piece. I mentioned that, but one of the most popular One Piece characters these days is just straight up transgender. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's awesome. And I'll even argue with
and
people
that's
about that one.
part of their ability is
Yes.
they'll switch in order to change their fighting style and then
That's awesome.
and can shoot hormones at people and change their genders
Real.
as well.
So real.
Which brings me to the question that Khan asked: what moment from One Piece made you cry? And I'll make this relevant to our discussion right now. Bon Clay, without spoiling anything. Bon Clay is a queer character. There's one moment in the anime that moment made Bon Clay one of my favorite characters. And if you've watched One Piece, you know which moment that is, and it's a sad moment, and it made me cry. Let's see.
There's a bunch of things, the character of Luffy is interesting because Luffy is a person that I would hate to be around in real life
For sure.
because they're just always acting like this big child that's aloof and doesn't know anything, but also he's the most insightful person ever and will see straight to the heart of someone and will challenge them in a weird way that makes them grow. And those scenes always get to me. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
absolutely.
and one of the obvious ones was Nico Robin's turnaround moment where she kind of felt like she was too far gone. She wasn't worthy, and he made her say, I want to live. And
For
like,
sure.
Bet.
I mean,
Let's go.
One of my favorite tropes in media, I was just talking to my best friend about this just yesterday, is like when the protagonist is kind of unlikable. Like, I feel like a good protagonist should be full of flaws and should always have room to grow. The example that I was talking to my friend about then was like Indiana Jones, for example. If you're just watching like Raiders of the Lost Ark, he's not a good person. He doesn't think forward, causes a lot of problems. Or if we want to talk about, we're trying to limit.
He's into very young women.
Yeah, okay, little weird. He doesn't check to make sure that the native population still exists. He just assumes that they don't exist anymore, so then he steals the idol. Or I guess try to again limit Star Wars talk. But the best example I can think of, also related to Indiana Jones, is Dr. Aphra. I mean, horrible human being, terrible, terrible human being. And if you actually read like her entire 2016 run, by the end, it's like she still sucks, but is redeemable enough to where you can't hate her.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect protagonist. That protagonist should always be flawed.
I describe it in a way that, building off of what Choco said about Luffy, they're a character that you hate to be around, but you're always around to love.
For sure. That's great. I love that. And from what I've heard about One Piece, that's a really good example of that. I just like when protagonists are interesting and you can break them down.
Cupco says, the funniest thing about Outlaws is that the trailer doesn't show anyone getting shot because they didn't want that featured in the trailer. Every gameplay segment, the shots always miss. So weird.
That's kind of funny.
That's true.
I've yet to play Outlaws. I'm gonna wait a while because it's too much game for me. But I know a lot of people don't like it, which makes me think I'll probably like it.
Listen, a lot the people that didn't like it, they didn't like it because woman.
Yeah, because woman. Or I've also heard some people not like it because it's very like Ubisoft core, but I like a lot of Ubisoft games.
Well,
So,
it's another example of a game that people hated based off of the trailer, and
Absolutely.
you know, on that side, obviously they're gonna hate it. But like, I feel like when I got down to it, there is a lot of game, and if I can sell you on it, like to get it on sale or something, like if you've ever wanted to be in Star Wars, it is a great installation to be in Star Wars. Like, you know, you're in there with Nyx, but like my favorite moments of the game wasn't actually part of the gameplay. I enjoyed the gameplay and I enjoyed the story, but my favorite moments was being able to just ride my speeder freely to Owen's Dalar's homestead.
absolutely. Oh, that's awesome. And
If I was selling it to Faith, I would say ND5.
I was about to say you read my mind. I was gonna say I appreciate you selling me on all these real reasons, but ND5 is there, and
There's a droid with a slutty waist and a
that jacket,
trench coat.
that jacket, that voice.
Oh my gosh. Ailey says, I'm so tired of woke is bad. No, it isn't. Tons of the stuff people love from the way back are woke. Tons of stuff in society we take for granted was woke at the time, like voting. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. So they've taken what used to be a word to describe awareness of social injustice and created a boogeyman term out of it. So, like, you don't even have to know the definition of woke nowadays. If you're in that crowd, if you're a part of the audience that watches, like, Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and those chuds, those carpet nuggets, they can say something is woke in a trailer. And it's not, in a traditional sense, not woke at all. But they'll say it's woke. They'll say that this black person in a trailer means they're forcing diversity into the movie. But it turns out if you watch the movie, that black character is just very ancillary and is only there for like 3 minutes. They won't retract their statements. They won't like issue corrections. You know, they'll go on the narrative that it is very woke.
I mean, this is I don't know how. This is an ice cold take, but basically, I think reality TV has created an incentive for people to be the worst versions of themselves online because it gains most attention and therefore monetary gain. So like the more like divisive what you say is or offensive what you say is, then the more reaction it'll get, then the more people will see it. And so for a lot of these people and these channels, some of them I've heard behind the scenes that the person actually doesn't like any of that stuff, but like this is the slop that their audience eats up. I mean, one of the big ones that really like made me aware of it, I've mentioned it here before, but Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers, all those channels were all really focused on a movie coming out called The Woman King, which is but I'm like, this isn't geeky. This isn't games. This isn't nerd culture. This isn't anything in your space. So why are you so obsessed with covering this movie for your audiences? And it's because it's a movie about black women, and that's two of the things that their audience hates, and so that's why they're going to cover it, because it's always going to get views.
Yeah, that's why
it's a monetary incentive.
That's why I always say they don't have a space. They might be called Nerdrotic or Geeks and Gamers, but they don't have a space. They're eternal tourists. They're gonna show up to the one thing that has all of the tourists crowding around it, and they're gonna and they're gonna try to make money off of it, and they're gonna go do something else.
Yeah. They'll scream that Marvel is too woke now, and they'll make a ton of videos on Marvel. At the same time, like DC will have shows out and running constantly, and they won't talk about them. Why? Because it's not getting the
they didn't talk about Sinners at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because that movie was good and it was doing good.
It's all about what kind of reaction they can get out of it.
I mean, they did complain about it before it came out,
Yes, they did.
but they got real quiet real quick.
I remember, I think Critical Drinker did like a, typical woke reaction to Prey, right? And then like it came out, and everybody loved it. Even people in his audience loved it. And then so he had to make a video. He's like, "Well, guys, Prey surprised me." And I'm like, "Jeez, you don't do this well." He's just like,
My favorite though is they're like, "There's no way that this tiny girl could fight this technologically advanced and huge like alien," and you're like, "That's literally the point of
the whole plot. Like that is the actual plot.
It's bigger and stronger, has better technology than anyone. How do you fight against it? That's the point, and that's why she excelled. That she's always had to deal with that. Like,
but we know
Jesus.
they're tourists, because even in that specific video when he was saying that this girl couldn't do it, he was like, even Arnold Schwarzenegger with all of his guns couldn't, and I was like, that the point of the movie was that he couldn't with all of his technology. He had to strip down to like the bare essentials. He had to set traps and fight on level with the predator to, kind of come out on top on that one. So not having all of the guns, like that's the whole point, like Choco said. Gosh, I hate that I came so close to like having an impression of that dude. Like I know it's a character, but geez, the way he talks is infuriating.
Also, I gotta mention it, but never forget how much Star Wars Theory loved Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi when they came out.
Oh yeah, he said so. He ranked Rise of Skywalker 9 out of 10. He ranked the entire sequel trilogy 8 out of 10. And at that time, he was getting pushback from his audience, but he said, "You're not going to change my mind. I feel the way I feel." Just like he is now, except he has become the sheep of the other herd, essentially, and started saying the hate, and then going, "No, you're not going to change my mind. This is the way I feel." And it's all packaged in this thing of like, I'm just trying to be real. I'm just trying to speak my truth. Why do people attack me for this? Because it really wasn't your truth. We have the clips, we have the receipts.
Absolutely. It's wacky. So wacky. And it's always the same conversation too when people like this pop up. Because no matter how much proof is actually like lobbed at them to show that what they're saying is bullshit, there will always be that vocal minority that just sticks with them anyways.
Oh yeah.
And that angers me.
I got a comment on the video I did on the Sith dagger in The Rise of Skywalker, and like the comment said, "If people are confused, it's the movie's fault." It was like, I wasn't confused. I didn't think it was an ancient dagger.
No, for sure. And
the only thing that's said in the movie is it's inscribed with the runic language of the Sith. There's no ancient in the dialogue.
Yeah.
And so
one of the things that really makes people mad is I'll get people like, "Oh, it doesn't make any sense," and then I'll ask them, "Oh, what did you have trouble understanding?" And they're like, "No, I didn't. It's not that I didn't it didn't make sense." And like, "No, I understood it. What didn't you understand?
Yeah,
I can explain it." And they're like, they get mad.
It's just pointing out, like, is it the movie's fault or is it your fault? Because bad viewership does exist.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was a huge thing with the Acolyte. Like, I made a whole video about that where I'm like, if you don't think this makes sense, I don't think we're watching the same media, because they went out of their way to make that make sense.
Definitely not. Like, it even exposed how much people didn't know how a wiki works.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like, they thought Disney. They thought they were capitulating to Disney by updating a wiki that is fan
Fan-made,
edited,
fan-edited.
and it's an aggregate of knowledge. It's not something that like is an official source, and then they changed it just so that it is okay. They updated it, you know.
I had so many people be like, "Oh, well, I predicted that it was a sister," and I was like, "They told you that. They showed you that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Did you think that was the mystery?" Oh, Jesus, I can't help you there, buddy.
Oh, like there was also a group of people who were saying it was the acolyte was so predictable. I knew that there was a Sith behind it. And I'm like, it's called the acolyte.
Yeah. Genuinely. Sorry,
Oh
my mic
man.
wasn't working.
Episode 4 was so predictable. You know, I knew that there was gonna be like some kind of like hope.
Man,
for that.
I knew that we would see a lightsaber in the second half of the movie and not just the first half. I could just tell, guys.
I knew that there was going to be snakes on that plane.
Oh my gosh. Also, random, but forgive me for snacking mid-conversation. My blood pressure is going to explode if I do not. So,
Oh no, absolutely.
just trying to stay alive.
Thank you
That's
to
good.
E for the heart
Life
link.
is
I
good.
guess this is the response for that. Guys, I think in episode 5 the Empire does in fact strike back.
They do. That's true. And in 6, there is a Jedi, and he comes back.
There is a return of some kind. What he says, I knew the clones would attack.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling that the Sith might revenge.
Okay, the only thing I'll give to them is Phantom Menace, because this still boggles people's minds that Palpatine was the Phantom Menace. Some people think the Jedi were the Phantom Menace, and I'm like, excuse me.
Puppet
What?
Yoda is the Phantom Menace.
Oh, that's true.
It's literally in the first 10 minutes of the film. At last we will reveal ourselves. Oh, does that mean you've been a phantom? At last we will get our revenge. Gosh. That's my eternal rant with the Star Wars fandom. And then my second eternal rant against the Star Wars fandom is Grey Jedi, because
Oh, same. I'm with you on that.
y'all are dumb if you. Gosh.
No, you guys, I'm a gray vegetarian. That means I eat meat, but I'm still a vegetarian.
You can have your silly fanfic concepts of what that might mean, but it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna make sense. That's
No,
just
I
how
can
it is.
eat meat and still be a vegetarian. You know,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Can we also establish what a plot hole is?
You don't know the difference between plot hole, retcon, and their own bad memory.
I mean, the most recent one we got was just questions. If you have questions on stuff, that's a plot hole.
Yep.
Or gaps of information.
Guys, I don't know what's happening here. It must be a plot hole. I don't have every perfect understanding of what this mysterious concept is. Bad writing.
Oh, I finally got the comment that I've wanted to get this whole time when I was on my video explaining why Rey can fly.
Yeah.
You know, using the clip of her saying, "I've flown ships before."
I've flown
never-"
before.
So I finally got the comment that said, "Yeah, but Luke is flying a ship that has similar controls to the X-wing," and I responded, "Where did we learn that?" External media. And if we go to the external media, we have more for Rey. She learned in simulators on downed Star Destroyers, and she's flown for Unkar Plutt. So more than I've flown ships where I've never left the planet, there is external media supporting her flying skills. So
Also, you also should point out that she's literally the only person on Jakku who has a speeder. Everyone else is traveling on animal back or on foot.
For sure.
Because she made that speeder. You know, she has... So that goes for her mechanical skills. But people don't pay attention to that.
We don't.
Illy
Super
says,
non sequitur. But I really want to watch the Speed Racer movie from 2008.
Oh,
I've never seen
yeah.
it, and I've heard it was amazing.
Oh, my best friend loves that movie.
Ilith says, "I thought Darth Maul was the Phantom Menace."
I've heard that. I've heard people say that before.
It's a valid, conclusion to draw. But for the most
and that's
part,
what I mean. I can't speak for everyone, but when I watched that movie as a kid, that's what I thought as well. But like, Palpatine is the menace over the entire saga.
Yeah. And I feel like it was probably intended to have like both questions and like a double meaning in that way. But in the grand scheme of the prequels, Palpatine is the Phantom Menace.
Just like Return of the Jedi has the double meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
And The Last Jedi. And The Rise of Skywalker.
And all of them.
I think all of them have double meanings, to be honest.
Except, I don't know, I wouldn't say A New Hope does. Like, there was one New Hope.
True. Well, no, there is another.
Oh, they were twins.
There is another.
Okay, but that wasn't
That wasn't intended.
That was an accident.
Okay, hot take. I don't think of Luke as a symbol of hope. Like, if you say symbol of hope, that's Leia to me, all day, every day. And,
Yes,
for sure.
And I associate Luke with like perseverance.
Perseverance, or like regaining things that are lost in general, but I wouldn't call that like hope.
Yeah. People are like, he was always so hopeful. I'm like, when?
Yeah.
as a child,
Where did he show hope in the first two films?
As a child, I thought the New Hope was just in general the Death Star exploding. It's like, oh, this is giving them hope because they can win.
Yeah. Maybe he does have a couple meanings. Maybe I'm stupid.
Yes, I was a kid when I watched it, like a decade ago, I think it was, so that tracks. Yeah.
Oh,
but this is why
there's something that we do all the time, but knowing that you are a gamer, have to ask.
Okay.
You're making your own Star Wars video game. It could be whatever you want.
Okay.
What are you making?
Okay, so putting aside how much I want a Republic Commando sequel, putting that like way over there.
Is it a Doom clone?
Like, no, because we already have it. Like we've already got that.
Credits. The New Hope was Star Wars existing and bringing us all together.
Fair enough.
Hey.
I like that.
Shout out to Cal4 with the $5 ramen drop.
But yeah, okay. Anything that is not something I have considered as much as I feel like I should. But I would want it without having
to
to
come
say,
back. You can spend time thinking about it.
I would try to like rattle it off the top of my head. I would want it to be like something that hasn't been done before, and I would love this. Just like popped into my head. I could probably think harder and come up with something else. But I would love to see like a Wookiee survival game.
Ooh.
Give me like Kashyyyk's the only planet. You're hunted with bowcasters and shit. Give me that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like you were a Wookiee trying to survive. And I was just picturing a Wookiee dropped in the middle of the jungles of Endor.
That too. No, like I would fuck with that. But like no, like give me like the realistic Wookiee experience. Like what is their day-to-day life like? I want to play that because they're so badass, but we never see like their upbringing that much, except for a little bit like Clone Wars and Bad Batch.
and the intro cinematic can just be Ki-Adi-Mundi being like in a more horrific voice. What about the attack on the Wookiees? And then
or give me Scorch just straight up being really racist in the intro.
And by my pitch last week was essentially Republic Commandos, but with the Bad Batch.
Oh my god, that would
so that you can have all your separate skills sets and stuff.
Oh, that would be awesome because like I love Republic Commando. My favorite Star Wars characters are Delta Squad. But my second favorite Star Wars character is the Bad Batch. You're cooking hard.
I mean, I recently
how do you feel about B2 battle droids?
I mean, I feel about them. I can tell you. I think they are incredibly cool, and I like when they're actually portrayed as somewhat threatening.
Okay, because for me, like they're so inconsistent in Star Wars that it kills me. Like you play Republic Commando, and when they come out, you're like, oh crap! Like it's gonna take a lot of hard work to take this thing down. But then Mace Windu punches through a bunch of them like it's nothing. But then they kill a lot of Jedi in Attack of the Clones. But then Obi-Wan casually cuts one up as he's jogging up the stairs in the next movie. And you're like, this is... What?
Yeah, it's
Oh
main
my gosh,
character
no, for
energy.
sure. I'm seeing a couple things in chat. One, somebody asked me if I played Ewok Survival in Battlefront 2. I have, and I love it. It's so funny. Ewok Hunt is so silly.
Yeah.
And then somebody else saying Dishonored gameplay, but with Dr. Aphra. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be so fun.
That would be cool. I did make a video on the game pitch, and I'll just kind of like make it quick. Obviously, you create your own character. It's a single player RPG. Create your own character. You get dropped off on your way to the crushes on the Jedi Temple, and the first act of the game is literally just you going to school. You're going to all of your history classes, your diplomacy classes, and your general education classes. And then, of course, you're learning saber foundations and stuff. And then the second act is you being selected by a master to be a Padawan. And that selection is based on all of your decisions and choices and dialogue options that you've chosen in the first act.
Okay.
And then the third act is when you become a knight. But essentially, the entire premise of this experience is living as a Jedi and experiencing what it's like to live as a Jedi, because all of your choices, all of the story decisions, all of your milestones are set within this struggle between light and dark. And I wanted to emphasize and convey that the more you tap into the dark, the more gets taken away from you in the light.
Sure.
So, like, just for brevity's sake, there would be milestone moments where characters, companions, and allies would try to compel you to come back to the light, and that would be like a boss battle or like a boss fight. You're like in your mindscape and you're like running through your mental blocks and stuff, and you're fighting all of your demons and stuff. And even with dialogue options, like, the more you tap into the dark side, the more you lose your agency. And so, like, all of your dialogue options are just kind of like variations of extreme emotions. And whenever you would seldom have a light side option, you would have to like battle your way to pick it. But I made that a main mechanic because obviously, just like in Baldur's Gate 3, you're gonna want to know what all of the outcomes are, right? If you go dark side fully, then it opens up like all of like 20 other narrative outcomes for you in the dark side. If you go light, you have those, but then like everything is erased as you travel further and further on in the story. So yeah, living like a Jedi, growing up as a Jedi, all of that stuff.
So, like, if Jedi Academy locked the fuck in. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
such a cool concept.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I would love that. I see Cupcos actually mentioning in chat a Star Wars side-scrolling beat-em up, like Streets of Rage. I just played through Streets of Rage 2 for the first time. Streets of Rage 1. And
That's a deep cut.
I love old Sega games. That's like my big thing, and for some reason I never played those games. So good. I have the soundtrack on cassette. It's like my favorite cassette that I own.
I'm a highly recommend you play River City Ransom Girls.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you haven't played the original, I was.
I own the game. I just haven't gotten around to playing. I love beat 'em ups, and Star Wars beat 'em up would go hard. I'm trying to imagine how that would work.
I mean, it's given me horror flashbacks of playing Super Star Wars, which is one of the hardest games.
Yep, I actually have that game. If my camera was portable, I'd go grab it. But I picked up a copy of that not too long ago. I collect video games, and I'm in the process of playing and reviewing every single Star Wars video game that I can possibly play. And I'm scared. I'm scared to get to Super Star Wars.
Nice.
I'm not going to play it on original hardware. I don't trust myself playing that without save states.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was in the old days. It's like some games you just never beat. You just never, you will never see the end of this game.
Choco, have you played the Streets of Rage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, you would absolutely enjoy
Such
the
a fun
music.
series, and the music is incredible. It's kind of like, if I'm remembering correctly, it's kind of like what laid the foundation for like synthwave as a genre, and that's my favorite music genre. So, I like
is it?
that. Yes.
I have a playlist for that.
Hell yeah! I have a huge playlist, but it's all licensed. So.
Okay.
By the way, when you were describing your Wookiee game,
Yes.
Since you didn't describe the style of the game, for some reason, tell me why my mind was picturing like Stardew Valley style.
Oh, actually, now that you bring that up, I almost kind of like that more. But I was thinking like closer to. Why is my brain saying like Hunt Showdown? Okay, something like that, but single player. Or like,
Oh yeah, Hunt
it's
Showdown.
kind of like dark and soggy and grimy, but and like big like
Soggy,
emphasis.
I like that.
So I use that word to like
if
describe
a video game
a lot
had
of
like a
things.
swamp ghillie suit.
Exactly, no, perfect, like that. But you are the ghillie suit, and there you go. Just put John Kashyyyk and like hunt some big old things. Give me
Yeah.
survival mechanics like what's a good survival game? I hate to say Minecraft, but Minecraft.
Yeah, that's another one.
Oh, Pep, I don't know if you played through Outer Worlds yet?
No.
Okay. I mean, great game, highly recommend it, but you can raise the difficulty so that you do have to like eat and drink and rest and all this stuff. And on that difficulty, if you don't, it's similar to what you're saying. Your options, like you get dumber because you're so tired and stuff, and then like you have different like speaking options and stuff like that, and it's funny.
That's cool. I see Illy talking about Eclipse. Now, I don't know if that is still coming.
Don't know. Yep.
I doubt it.
I will save my actual thoughts on it for a more heated conversation, but I think it's one of those games that just ain't happening.
Yeah. We just haven't had very much updates on it.
I mean, the last person I'm gonna put trust into is David King.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he should be fired.
He should
Out
be
of a
more than
cannon
fired. Yeah,
into the
there you go.
sun.
No, there you go. Yeah, a fun fact about him. Sorry to cut you off, but this will be 2 seconds. His birthday is June 9th, 1969. He was born on 6969, and there is no better terrible guy to be born on such a horrible date.
I will say that part of my game does take heavily from Detroit Become Human in
that's
terms
fine.
of like story decisions.
That's absolutely okay because, like, I mean, you can always separate art from artists, but also his team did create some really cool story concepts, and
Yeah.
Respecting that is something you can do at the same time as saying he should be fired out of a kid.
Also, I would like to take from Life is Strange, if anybody's ever played Life is Strange.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. I used to pull my middle name from Life is Strange, but then like this one day hit, and I realized that like all of the Life is Strange games actually made by Dontnod, the guys who started the team, they're not that good. They don't really hold up to me.
Well,
the only ones that
the newer one that's not made by Dontnod, Double Exposure.
Right.
I actually really, really like that, and there's obviously a lot of discourse around them changing up Max's story and like
or just even
Chloe's.
bringing her back at all.
But I enjoyed the gameplay mechanics of it, and the way they updated, the power usage, and one of my favorite things about the Life is Strange series in general, including True Colors. True Colors is actually my favorite one of the series, because their milestone decisions is essentially what I picture happening in my game with Dark Side and Light Side. You have this major thing that's like, just for example purposes, because obviously I don't have my full game fleshed out. Let's say there's a child on the streets of Coruscant and there's a speeder coming, but you're also chasing I'm borrowing heavily from Trace and Rafa, the Martez sisters. But like, there's a speeder coming. There's a child in the middle of the road, but you're chasing someone who is also shooting up civilians, right? So the screen freezes, and then you have to choose: continue chasing this person who's shooting people, or save the child that's about to get run over. So that's how I imagine those milestones to kind of be conveyed.
Yeah, and I love that concept. The thing with Life is Strange specifically is that the first game, none of your choices really mattered at all, except for like that one sequence on the roof and the final decision at the end. The entire ending is just decided on that last decision.
Oh, so just like Jedi Academy.
Yes. And
by the way, that is my favorite Star Wars game. I love it.
I haven't gotten there yet in my marathon, but I'm on the game right before it. I'm on Jedi Knight and
Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, Jedi Knight 2.
Amazing, love it.
The second half is the first half. Streets of Nar Shaddaa can get out of here. Worst level I've ever played the shooter or otherwise. But it's funny because they're like, people just had so much more patience in the past because they're like, all right, in this game, you're not gonna get your lightsaber until much. Yeah, I don't think people could handle that. I was okay with that. I didn't really mind the fact that you didn't get that till the end. What I hated was that the first level where you do have it, it's useless. I couldn't get behind that. And but everything after that has been fun. I mean, the game definitely has picked up. I like the older Star Wars games a lot. But with Life is Strange, the one game in that whole series, and I haven't played all of them, but the one that really stuck out to me as a phenomenal game was Before the Storm. I think that what do they call it again? Deck 9? Is that the team? I'm pretty sure. They're not a great team. They have a lot of issues surrounding them, as most big studios do nowadays. But their writers, I think, are the best writers that series has gotten. They also wrote True Colors.
Have you played True Colors?
Bits and pieces. I never got around to playing the whole thing. But what I saw, I really liked. It reminded me a lot of Before the Storm. And like, I love story-based games. I love visual novels. I love Ace Attorney. And I feel like the worst genre where bad really ruins it, like anything bad happening really ruins it, is story-based games at all. I feel like if the story in a story-based game isn't there, there's nothing else to save it. There is nothing else to save it at all. And I don't want to upset too many people here, but I feel like the best example of that is the Danganronpa franchise.
Danganronpa.
Oh,
Danganronpa, yeah. I haven't played those games.
That's the thing, is that people will tell you you're missing out. You're not. The writing is bad. The writing is really, really bad, and people love it for the characters are cool or funny haha anime moments. And you actually go and play those series, and they're all visual novels. 1 out of 4 is a good game, and that's not a good batting average for a story-based series.
Yeah, I mean, if its main draw is story, that definitely has to deliver. And don't worry about upsetting anybody here. We're all in this community is built on being an adult.
I'm glad to hear that. I am very heated about the things I don't like, not because I actually hate them that much, but because I think it makes the conversation funnier. That's my hope. That's my MO.
But I mean, everybody in the chat in this community, we all have different favorite Star Wars projects, and we can all have that discourse.
For sure.
Sith in Training said, do you think a Star Wars horror game would work? And the thing that came to my mind is, what was the game? It was similar to the Left 4 Dead, but it was those people's next game. But I want to make that, but set it in the Clone Wars. So here's my pitch. It's 5-player, right? 4 people team up, and you're against one person who's playing as General Grievous. You boarded his ship, and then it crashed, but he's injured, and so basically, he's messed up, but he's going to go around and find things to repair his body. So he's weak, and you're trying to hunt him down with your 4 characters, but if he gets all of his parts, then he is Big Grievous, and he can destroy you a lot easier. So you're hunting him until he's hunting you.
That one mode in the Resident Evil.
Okay, so that's not I don't think you're talking about Left 4 Dead.
No, the makers of Left 4 Dead made another game
Yeah.
that was that where it's like a monster that's eating stuff in the forest.
I was going in that direction.
remember that.
Those games are called asym's or asymmetrics. And that's the direction I was going into. Like, it could be General Grievous, it could be Darth Vader, it could be any number of like horrific, like
Yeah, you can make it like a whole thing like Battlefront is, where it's all sorts of different eras. And
Evolve. That's what I was thinking.
There it is.
Sorry.
Yep.
Thank you, Illy.
But of course, we all know the one that, you know, the breakout popular one, which is Dead by Daylight.
Yep. It's funny, I've played a lot of asym's, but Dead by Daylight is the one that I just kind of refused to play for the longest time. And I would always jokingly say, I'd be like, I will never play Dead by Daylight unless they add Springtrap to the game. And then they did. And now I'm just kind of stuck. I'm like, wait, I have to like fulfill that promise. I have to play it.
There was an asym that came out that a good friend of the channel, Cal4, found, and it had so much potential. It was called VHS. It was called Video Horror Society.
Okay.
Right. It was basically the premise was they were all kind of like paranormal investigators, but like it had, you know, famous underworld monsters and cryptids, and the thing that made it stand out from a typical asym was that the player side had offense to it, which is something like that, like Choco is also kind of like hinting at with, you know, hunting Grievous first.
That's what I liked about Evolve is the scales slowly swapped.
Yeah, so like in Dead by Daylight, right, you're fixing generators, you're trying to escape. In Video Horror Society, you're actually the stations that you're trying to repair in this game are like stations where you can create weapons to use against the monster, right? So the monster is hunting the players, and the players are going around trying to find different weapon types that they can build, and then they're repairing the generators is trying to build that weapon. And so as soon as they finally build that weapon, it turned into them trying to catch the monster and defeat the monster. So I really liked that. It was like asymmetric. Like it was like
That's
it
really
switches
awesome.
on the time.
One of the coolest asym's I ever played, and it's kind of like debatable to really call it one, but I think that by definition it was this Wii U indie game, and I know already cutting really deep here. It's called Affordable Space Adventures, where instead of like a PvP asym, it was a purely PvE in the sense that only one person could actually control the spaceship, and everyone else who was playing the game as well had to constantly manage all of its breaking parts.
Yeah.
And it was such a cool concept because the game was hard as hell and actually used like the Wii U gamepad in an effective way, so where only one player gets a screen, only one player can actually see what's happening, but everybody else has to keep the machine moving. And one of the coolest indie games I've ever played. And I just wish we got like strange experimental, not just hardware, but uses of hardware like that, because I just think that asymmetrical multiplayer is really cool.
There's actually a game coming out called Jump Ship. Is it Jump Ship? That looks like it's going to be really fun because it is. I mean, it's similar to that, but probably more. I mean, like one person's literally flying a spaceship, and so you can go and you have people running around operating systems.
I see this.
You can like have people jump out and be pirates and like try to take down other ships or whatever. And it looks so fun. I just looked this up. It came out today. It did come out today?
It came out today?
It came out in early access today.
Okay, because I specifically need to play that with Chase because I know he'll be our designated pilot.
It changed its name to Jump Space because of copyright problems, it seems, but it is the same game, and this looks awesome. It's a great concept. Very similar.
We're gonna play that tonight. How much is it?
$15, but it's early access, so that makes sense.
We can play it, right? Are you free tonight?
I mean, right.
Not now.
I'm real strapped. I'm just saying.
If you want, I can get it for you as well. Since you have a job, you can actually pay me back, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
let's see here. Alien Isolation Style, Shadows of Mordor, Nemesis System, Star Wars equals horror, gold.
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, the Nemesis system is doomed to hell forever. But it would be a great concept if we were allowed to have fun.
Actually, let's entertain this real quick. If we just go Alien Isolation Style, what is the Xenomorph in Star Wars? Like you're an engineer on some kind. You're like a mechanic on some random.
I mean,
shit. What's
listen,
hunting?
it's
you?
the nameless.
Oh, that's true. Oh, you could do that with the
Imagine
Jedi.
you're
Or
playing a
force
game.
sensitive, yeah.
Imagine you're playing a game where you can choose whatever, and obviously the Jedi has more powers, but as the nameless gets closer, what you visually see gets all weird and, and like messed up as a huge thing. Like that'd be really cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
That would be cool. Or like if it's set in like a stranded ship, maybe you need to manage systems to keep like a Star Weird from getting too close to you.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
There's a lot of like horrors in Star Wars that you essentially have
Baby Zillo Beast.
a baby solo beast, yeah.
Like that one episode of the Bad Batch, which was a weird ass episode.
And it just grows throughout the
Yep.
the longer you go.
Bib Fortuna is trying to kiss you. And you're just like, oh.
Don't watch my video about Star Wars. Hear me out. Just don't. I promise he's not on that list.
Okay, I was a little scared there.
Surely he's not.
Friday the 13th game was the best ASIM,
You
better than
wanna
Dead by
wonder.
Daylight.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, I actually whenever I would watch Friday the 13th streams over Dead by Daylight, I was infinitely more interested. Essentially because, instead of like the loop of repairing generators, you had to find things and you had to choose your escape route. Right? You could find the car keys, you could find the keys to the boat, you could find all manner of ways to escape, right? And you put that up against DBD, where essentially the loop just hasn't changed in forever. I think it is a better system as well. But DBD has the what I would call glupshitos of like character or
For
monster creation or monster additions.
For sure.
I do
Yeah, there's
imagine
Dead by Daylight competitions. I don't get it.
I do imagine a game called Imperial Remnant, and it's just imposter, or is it what was that game called?
Imposter or oh yeah, the popular one from COVID times.
Yeah, what was that game called?
Among Us.
Among Us. It's basically that, like or the Game of Wolf or Mafia, basically.
Yeah.
You're on a starship, you're all just at your stations, and you're trying to do all of this stuff, and then there's an Imperial Remnant among you. That's all. If we want to take the easy way out in terms of reskinning and shipping, that's like the easiest one to do with Star Wars.
Yeah. Definitely.
Illy asks, what's a Star Weird?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Choco? It's
How do you?
don't know how to explain it.
It's Steven Tyler after he retires.
That's true. That's really true. I see. Okay. They're mentioning that they're from the Afro comics. They were from more specifically, not just Legends, but a single mention in a tabletop guide, and people just kind of ran with that as being the coolest thing ever, which fair, it kind of was. But they're like massive, like not planet size. They're like massive ship size, like Venator sized. Very hungry beasts that look like Steven Tyler after he retired.
Yeah.
And they prey on broken ships.
So my mom loves Steven Tyler and thinks he's like the sexiest man of all time.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
I am like a big Disney parks nerd, and I like wrecking roller coasters. So. There you go. How about that? That's got
So
I mean, listen, back
my
then,
entire childhood was my mom talking about either Steven Tyler or
Bruce
Captain
Springsteen.
Picard,
my mom with Duran Duran. She still does it. So.
or the guy who played Hemotep in The Mummy.
Sure.
What the hell was his name?
But then again, The Mummy has someone for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've heard.
I will say, in Steven Tyler's and what's his name, Perry, their
Joe Perry.
Joe Perry, their performance in the Ozzy Osbourne tribute, Steven Tyler still got the pipes, so he can hit those notes.
I mean, yeah.
I have no idea who Steven Tyler is. I've never even heard of him. Singer of Aerosmith. You've heard of Aerosmith, for
Definitely,
sure.
or at least heard Aerosmith, even if not realizing.
You were also able to fight back and take Jason down if you were good enough? Yes. I'm just like the idea is pouring into my head now with like a Star Wars horror game.
There's a lot you could do. I mean, it's a good concept.
I'm really latching on to the nameless idea that Choco, because like when I was reading Fallen Star and reading how people felt about just like this kind of itchy crawly feeling at the back of their neck at different moments in the book, just kind of visualizing it, like how would that feel, how would that look to them?
For sure.
Or if you're playing a game, you're exploring this like derelict ship, and you find like the body of a Jedi that turned into stone. And you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, now that I think about it, like the Ewok survival thing from BF2, like that
hey,
shit,
Cupcos, have a good one.
that shit would be scary as hell on a starship. Like you talking about like being in like in the dark in the jungle. Sure, you're expecting Ewoks, but like listen, you're traveling down the corridor with your flashlight, and you just see this small ass bear running at you with glowing eyes, with like a hatchet in their hand. That's scary. And they're speaking Filipino. What do we do now?
I mean, there would actually be like, I don't know. There's a lot of fun ideas. Like the game could just be called Star Wars Hunted, and like each level you're hunted by something different. One level it's like you're trapped in a cave system and a Rancor is coming at you. You know, the next one you're in the middle of the desert and it's a bunch of Jawas.
Oh my gosh!
But like,
Jawas.
remember, Jawas have like little blasters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
just come around
you
and
know?
go. Oh my gosh! Oh, Aerosmith, I know. Yeah, they've got a few cool tracks. A few.
You turn another
okay.
corner and it's a bunch of Droidekas that you can hug and kiss.
Oh yeah, that's my kind of game. Wow. Yippee! I just dropped my fucking brain.
A tower
here's
defense game with the droidekas.
Yes, for sure. Here's one.
Date anything but Star Wars.
I mean, I'll write it. Give it to me. We'll make it weird. We'll make it real weird, and they won't even turn into like humanoids. They'll just be as is. Let me talk to a Venator. Let me take a Venator to a coffee shop. Okay, here's one. So like another like open world smugglery game similar to Outlaws, but instead of an original character, it is Jackson, and everybody hates him.
Okay, yeah. I can see that now.
I love that little green freak. I would love to see a game where it's similar to Outlaws in that like gameplay style, but just nobody likes you. Nobody gets along.
That game would constantly be in early access, though.
That is true. That is very true.
Here's another survival kind of horror game. You're stuck in the Jundland Wastes, and there's a thing in the sand.
That'd be fun.
I know that, like yeah, Choco and I was about to say Choco and Choco. If you're ever in an accident, call Choco and Choco. No, Choco and Cal are a friend of the channel. Got me into Dune, and I played like the first few minutes, and like the first moment that they have you do like walk on the open sand, and like there's an indicator of sound. I'm like, what? So I just like sprinted across the sand towards the next rock, and I'm like, interesting. So that'll be fun. I can't believe we forgot about the Dren gear.
Oh yeah, huh?
That would be scary.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Maybe have it like a light cruiser ship that is an animal collector's mobile zoo. You could do a bunch of creatures then.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
you're on the Halcyon, the Star Wars hotel with a bunch of
Yes!
characters.
and then Ian McDermott is like the final boss.
Terrifying. Like, he's just straight up there, and it's just...
Would you happen to know where my water is? Child. Well, meeting you
Nope.
here is very unnatural.
Legitimately, though, you could just reskin like Uncharted and toss in Afra, and
There you go.
you know
Greatest
what I
game
mean?
ever made.
I would choose to reskin Tomb Raider instead, though.
That's true.
I wouldn't, but that's okay.
That's fair.
I don't need to see Afra
I see-
die horribly over and over again. And
I mean, we kind of do see that already.
That's
though.
not the premise of Tomb Raider, though. That's just you
Yeah.
being bad.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to 2016 Afro, where there's that one like issue where she gets shot and almost dies, and then the next issue doesn't even mention it. That was so weird, dude. Whenever the whole series, it just jumps like a year forward. I'm like, what happened? How do you survive that? I believe it, but how?
Also, it's been about 6 months, but obligatory mention of mommy Domina Tag.
Yeah, I just started the
Yeah.
2020 run, and I don't want to say I get it, but I do. I get it.
Yeah, listen. We all
Hey,
get
cool.
it.
I got the
I don't care
got-
who you are. You know?
I got the hardcover of the 2020 run as a birthday present this year, and I just started reading it. And it's so much more fun than the 2016 run. Like so much like
Yeah.
goofy shit happens, and I really dig that. And also, like in like one of the first issues, Afra starts talking to an abandoned ship like it is alive and calls it gorgeous, and I'm like, she's just like me.
One of the things that has been at least true for me is that the more that authors find their footing, and the more that is fleshed out in this new Disney era of Star Wars, the better the writing has gotten.
Yep.
And I feel sad for people who completely have written off the extended canon.
Yeah, for sure.
Say, if you loved EU, if you loved Legends, this was your chance to get in on the ground level of a new extended canon that you could read from the beginning.
A new extended canon that they're also going to be adapting into bigger things eventually. I mean, that's cool. That's what people wanted with Legends, and now we're getting that with a new canon that's more consistent than Legends. Maybe not perfect, but more consistent.
And overall better written.
Better, way better. I ain't gonna fight you on that one. And look, I love a lot of Legends stuff, mostly of course the video games, but like reading any of the like modern Star Wars comics, except for Adventures, we don't think of it. But most of the modern Star Wars comics, you get into them, they're all at least decent. There's not a lot of bad out there. It's great.
Yeah. And that's a good point that you brought up, Faith, about what we had before.
Yeah.
George never had any intentions of ever adapting it. He would take and pull from it like a toy
Here and
chest,
there, yeah.
but this extended canon has 98% more chance to be adapted.
Yeah,
Or
I
even
mean, it
pulled
already
from.
has. I mean, the best part of Book of Boba Fett is Chrysanthemum.
Yes.
He's awesome.
Chewbacca, yeah.
And so many people are like, oh, this is such a cool original Wookiee character. And then it's like, look at all this media you can absorb that's just about him. It's awesome. That's what a big city universe should be.
And then we had Mandalorian that started as a TV show. So now it's going to be a movie.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm not going to like try to get too excited for it because of everything happening right now. You know, very focused of what we talked about at the start of this. But I mean, the movie's already been made, and with how The Mandalorian as a series went, I at least have high hopes for its quality.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be a fun movie. Also, I mean, if Chrysanthemum is going to be in Boba Fett, I know a freaky little lesbian who might fit into the movie. I don't know.
I do think
I just need 000.
Oh, 000. I love him. I think he's cool.
I do think that Ahsoka also is going to eventually become a movie.
Oh, for sure.
I do think
absolutely.
The implications of what Baylan is searching for.
Yep.
And I don't want to provide fuel to the Abeloth lovers, but like the scope of what Baylan's searching for and the implications of that story moving forward is most likely a cinematic thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Elijah Adams super chatted 6.83 credits. The Drangir are currently heading for the Wookiee homeworld, Kashyyyk, at the end of the Haunted Starlight audio drama. That is a game, please.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go.
That's true.
These concepts. Okay, I dig that.
And I just feel bad because I really do. So I need to finish the High Republic because I haven't, but I also at the same time want to start it over. You know what I mean? Now that all of it's out, and just go through the entire thing and be able to make a ton of content as I'm going through each step of it. But right now I'm also reading a lot of like history books. So
I'm currently catching up to the comics because that's gonna be like a huge spider's nest to kind of untangle.
High Republic stuff is kind of like my weak spot. Like I haven't absorbed enough of that media yet. I gotta get around to it. It's up there, but
yeah.
And it's just like what we were saying. You know, we got in on the ground floor, and so that's why it was a lot easier. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And I most of it's books, and I don't know how to read. Just kidding. I'm just bad at it.
But you can do audiobooks.
Yeah, everyone says that. No, I might end up doing that. Because I really want to learn about all these characters more. I watched The Acolyte, and I'm like, this is the best Star Wars content ever made. And then I'm like, oh, there's so much more. Oh, it's books. Oh, I'm cooked.
But that's also why it's one of the best parts of the fandom, is because the chuds can't read. They don't know how.
That's true.
So
we get to keep peak, and they can just go like cry about slop that doesn't exist.
And if they ever, in writing, can read and see a they pronoun, they're not going to have the wherewithal to like be like, is that a... No, that's not. They're just saying... They're not even going to question it. They're just going to read it.
And then there you go, immediately realizing, oh wait, this is normal.
But I do have 6 issues left in Vader 2020 and 8 issues left with Star Wars 2020. Those are the biggest things looming over my head. And the comics will always be... Like, I was looking at all the comics that I've been behind in the High Republic, too, and, like, it is a clusterfuck. Like, High Republic Adventures, High Republic Nameless Terror, High Republic Adventures 2024, High Republic Adventures Dark Horse. Like, okay, like... the shift of publishers kind of screws with me.
It's just that's just a comic book thing in general, though. You know,
for sure.
especially if you're reading Marvel comics and around the time that Civil War II came out, there is all kinds of super weird stuff that they did for continuity's sake or for, I don't know, just random stuff. For sure. It was not good.
And then there's like I have to finish Trials of the Jedi before I read Into the Light, and then I have to before I read Acolyte Wayseeker, before I read Jecky's and Yord's book, and then then we have the Bad Batch. I have to read that book. There's so much that I have to catch up on.
Mm.
Oh, and Faith, Illy in the chat, I don't know if you saw it, said to go read Acolyte Wayseeker.
I was going to comment on that. I will look into that for sure. Yeah. Any more of that I can get, I'll be there.
You know what I love about Star Wars, in the face of what we're kind of protesting today, is that there's so much that we're able to talk about it without promoting something that is currently out. Because there is something to talk about, but we're not going to talk about it. But let's see here. If you cannot afford buying them like me, there's thousands of Star Wars comics on the Marvel Unlimited subscription service, including new stuff. I like to sail the high seas.
I was going to say, there's other ways to,
I'm not endorsing anything here for legal reasons.
I'm not saying you should, but there are other ways.
Drink up, the hottest yo ho. But we do want to support when we can.
Yes.
When
it makes sense, when we're not currently boycotting.
Yeah, but I'm just mean stuff like there's a new Static Shock series. I mean, it's Batman Beyond in Static Shock. How at the end of, Virgil's an adult and stuff. People need to go support it. To go start a pull list, right? And that's what signifies to the makers to make more of these.
You're presently boycotting? What are y'all boycotting? Well, it's not necessarily a full boycott, but the Writers Guild of America is protesting the attack on free speech with Jimmy Kimmel. Yes. So, in solidarity of that, we're not promoting anything new with Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot to promote. I mean, but like I said, we're not going to talk about it.
there was stuff that happens, but
yeah,
I didn't hear about it. I can remember.
I had plans this week to do a bunch of Alien Earth, but I am going to talk about Infinity Castle, Demon Slayer.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I wanted to start doing a lot more anime content in general because I consume so much of it.
Yep.
Did you continue with Rascal?
Not yet.
Gen V Season 2 is coming this weekend or just came?
Oh yeah, I haven't started.
Sorry, they dropped the first 3 episodes on the 17th, so we got a little bit of it out already. I really enjoyed Season 1.
Sure. Okay, that's a possibility too.
There's something. I don't know. I would like to do more video game content outside of Star Wars because, ironically, some of my best performing things that I post and best received have been things that have to do with my niche fandoms. Because, modern platforms love to push that to your niche audience. It's really good at that nowadays. And I made a lot of just slop garbage about Ultra Kill or Roblox games or whatever, and it always gets pushed harder than my Star Wars content.
Yeah. Illy, that's exactly what we're not gonna talk about. What else is out there right now?
But yeah, who knows what will be,
we're still watching.
We're
still watching Supernatural.
Yeah.
Faith, have you watched any Supernatural? Is that one of the fandoms?
Only bits and pieces. But I do actually mean that when I say I've seen a lot of broken up bits. I haven't
Yeah.
actually sat down and watched it though. Now I couldn't like talk about it much.
We're still on season 2 of 26,000. So
Yep. Once again, there's my issue with shows. I just fall asleep too fast. The fact I ever finished the Clone Wars is my greatest achievement.
oh,
But you know what? I mean, I honestly feel like that means you should watch more anime because there's a lot of shows that
You
are
are
just
correct.
it's just
Actually,
10
not
to
only
12
are you correct,
episodes.
but I fully agree with you because once I finished, a 7-season launch, I'm like, oh, I can do that. It's really hard. And
No, but there's a lot that has a full story in 12 episodes. Like
I mean, I mean, Dungeon Meshi only has one season. One of my favorite shows ever.
exactly.
Or like here's a random one that I'm sure not a lot of people are going to agree with anymore because big time capsule, but Love Live School Idol Festival. Great
I've
series,
not seen
phenomenal,
that one.
super
Haven't
short
seen it.
series. If you can get behind like idol anime, it's great. It's short. It's great.
Okay. I think the only idol anime I've watched is what's the one
K-On? No. Idolmaster? No.
never mind, I'll think of it in a
Yeah, there's a few out there, but there's not a ton. It's not the biggest like.
To Be Hero
Kansas
X.
anime.
There's
that is
an idol.
also a great show.
It's funny.
But it is longer. Oh, it's
No.
Oshinoko.
Okay.
Oh.
What's funny is I've been to Japan 3 times and I don't watch a lot of anime. And it's funny every time I get there, I like go to like a big cool store and I'm like, oh wait, I don't care about any of this.
I mean, you can, do
Yeah.
the fish out of water experience where you're just like,
I mean,
what is all of this?
My time there was then I find like a game store or I find like a doujin store selling like fanfics of a niche game that nobody talks about. I'm like, hey, there we go. I just gotta search for it.
Yeah.
And I go to the big stores in Japan and I'm like, what?
When
Illy, you said season 6 of Supernatural. After that, it gets difficult. Yeah, and it's very time capsule of a show. Like it is a product of its time.
For sure. And I mean, I can accept media like that. I can accept that as long as it truly is a product of its time.
It was funny because Franklin and Bash came on Netflix, and I loved that show when it was coming out. And there are parts of it now that I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird.
going off of what Faith was talking about, when I was in Japan, I was just kind of like doing the tourist thing in like this big Sony store.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
so a lot of it was just kind of like super tech, like robot dogs and like their
Yeah, I
all
love
of
the
their
robot dogs. They're so cute.
tech that they were showing up. But again, just like fish out of water experience, there was one kiosk where they were selling like a crystal case of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Oh my
And-
gosh, I saw that in theaters when it reran.
And
The
I bought it. I was like,
saw
I was,
original rant.
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't come here for this, but I'm leaving with it.
Yeah, exactly. The coolest thing I got in my last trip, what was this, 2 trips ago? Wow, that's such a funny thing to say. I don't know. Recently, I went to Japan and I found for like really cheap. I found the Final Fantasy VI soundtrack, like the box set that came out in 1996, for like $20. It's the coolest thing I've ever found.
That's cool.
That soundtrack is incredible, and I actually listened to CDs, so it was great.
If you've never been to a Distant Worlds with Nobuo Uematsu, I would suggest
I've
to
been
do
meaning
so.
to. They came to Denver like the year before I got into Final Fantasy heavy, so
It's a great experience.
nowadays it's probably my biggest like mainstream series that I'm into in terms of video games. And I mean, 4, 6, 9 is probably my second favorite RPG of all time. I had to correct myself.
Interesting.
And 14, so good. Kingdom Hearts.
See, not a lot of people, at least in my experience, point to 9 in the 7, 8, 9 era. Like, there's like the odd child that picks 8, and then there's like the cool in crowd that picks 7.
Yep.
All my friends were
9's
8
actually a
about
based choice. 9's a based.
9 is my
choice.
favorite. In terms of like plot alone, 9 is by far my favorite. It stuck with me so hard. No game has made me cry like Final Fantasy IX did. That game broke me.
I
Nick,
suggest.
Nick asks, "What's y'all's opinion on Bleach?" I've been watching for the first time, and I'm loving it.
Well, first I'll say I suggest Chrono Cross.
Oh yeah, I got that remaster recently. I'm looking good.
Bleach. I mean, this is one of my favorites, for sure. I mean,
It's
like,
it's my least favorite of the big three, but I do like it a lot.
15 is my fave. I know I'm in the minority there. I mean, like you.
I haven't played it yet, but I feel like I would like 15.
I haven't played 15. I haven't played 16.
Okay, yeah, I haven't played 16 either. The ones that I've like played and finished are 4, 6, 7, 9, 7 Remake, 7 Rebirth, Crisis Core, and every expansion of 14.
The thing is,
I loved 15, just because it was just weird. You know, you're just cruising around in this car, and then there's like a big demon and standing in the middle of the road, and you have to get out and fight him. And like it's just how it's presented is just really interesting. That made it a joy for me.
It's just that, like, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, we've had a boon of large scale epics in terms of RPGs.
Yeah.
And so it is way too difficult to play them all.
Absolutely.
Like
you never finished Avowed, huh?
Nope, I didn't finish Avowed. I only recently in the last year finished Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm in the middle of Forbidden West. And then, like, it took me years to finish Ghost of Tsushima, and then I'm just like,
long games are a curse because some of them are the best games ever made, but also some of them I just don't have the patience for. Most of my favorite games are either super short or don't have definitive ends because of that.
True.
My favorite RPG, it's a really weird and specific pick, but it's Live Alive, which was a Square Enix RPG, or Squaresoft RPG on the Super Famicom, didn't come out in the States until it got a really beautiful remake a couple years ago, and it laid the foundation for so many like Squaresoft RPGs going forward, and a lot of like things following in it, and it's just such a really fun and beautiful game. It was also the first Square collaboration with Yoko Shimomura, the composer of the Kingdom Hearts series, and that soundtrack, of course, just knocked it out of the park.
I'm surprised I didn't heard of that game.
It wasn't really talked about at all until the remake was announced, and then like a year after the remake came out, people stopped talking about it again. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the remake is beautiful. It's on it's on Switch, PS4, and Steam, I think. It's really fun. If you like older RPGs, it's also, whenever people tell me that they can't get into JRPGs because they're too long, I suggest Live Alive to them, because the story is an episodic anthology. Like, every chapter takes place in a different time period with different characters in different setting. And it's very easy to jump into it because you can play the chapters in any order and just get attached to whatever part you want. And even if you don't finish it, it's still super enjoyable. Of course, it all comes together in the end. It all has like a big, like, broad ending, but each individual story is just super well written, super fun. The music's phenomenal. My favorite like piece of trivia about it is that it was one of the main inspirations for Undertale. Toby Fox has come out. He said so. He stated this, so I'm not just like completely spitting out horseshit like usual. But the boss theme in Live Alive is called Megalomania. And it was also the first game to experiment with the concept of a genocide run, because if you kill everyone in one of the episodes, it completely changes the entire course of the ending. So,
jeez.
I need a Sly Cooper remake. Yeah, they did come out and say they have no interest in doing that, or making another. Then that was pretty recent.
I mean, how about they just re-release it, like make it accessible again?
I still need to be AC Shadows. I read that comment because I also.
Yep.
And then they just did an update. Now there's another little island and a bow staff.
I still have to finish Destiny.
I've heard I mean, I've heard people say Assassin's Creed Shadows was like the greatest thing to happen to that franchise in the decade. And
When
if
I was
that is
playing
true,
it was
I've been
great.
having a lot of fun. Yeah.
I mean, if that is true, then I mean that means a lot. That means it's a really good sign for Ubisoft's development teams. They also recently confirmed that Rayman will come back eventually. That's all they said. But
My favorite Final Fantasy was Tactics, though.
Tactics Remake comes out next week. I'm hyped.
Oh, does it? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Because then they recently released another favorite of mine, which was Suikoden. They released 1 and 2.
Suikoden got a big remaster. We're getting like a fully like hand-drawn redo of Tactics next week. Voice acted, all that.
Oh man, I'm gonna get lost in it.
It's kind of a random one, but the game Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon is I had such a blast playing that game. It's like a weird low budget. It's got some jank in it.
Fun.
But it's like I had a lot of fun.
I love quality jank. I mean,
It's high quality jank. That's what
I was talking to somebody earlier today about how some of my favorite games are objectively bad, but I like them because they were creative, they were unique, they did something that another game is too afraid to do.
You know what
go ahead.
You know what we have to finish, Choco? Still?
Split Fiction.
Yeah.
I've heard all sorts of things about Split
It is
Fiction.
it's a great cooperative
fun,
experience.
I mean, that team has never made a bad one, from what I've heard.
Finish Destiny? I mean, there isn't much to finish. It doesn't have much plot. I mean, it's still going, and it's the literal definition of milking the cash cow. Because the last expansion was fun, was good, and there was a literal ending to that narrative, which was the what's his face? Not the Maker. He was the final shape.
It's the Witness.
The Witness. Yeah. You know, we defeated the Witness, and we saw the whole cinematic ending and everything. Yeah. And of course, it left the narrative wide open for continuation. But I always felt like that was where their 10-year plan stopped.
Now, I will say their latest thing isn't good, but but the changes they've made to the sandbox have been amazing. And so I've been playing it because the way they've changed your abilities for build crafting is the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
But the new content that they've been trying to put it in and how you access it sucks.
Yeah.
So,
what's crazy is that in the realm of MMOs, Final Fantasy XIV is having the exact same problem for the opposite reason, in the sense that they're trying too many new things to a point where none of them are landing. And like the base plot of the most recent expansion just flopped hard. It just wasn't well written. But then like the changes they made to the battle system, into like making the game more convenient, making like high tier rating hard again, is all great. Like they're nailing that. Like,
how did they change the combat system? Because I stopped playing it after Stormbringer.
So it's kind of mixed. I mean, since Stormblood, it has changed.
Or Stormblood,
yeah, since Stormblood, I mean, there was the full rework in Shadowbringers because they got rid of TP. There's no more TP. The only expendable resource is MP now. And jobs got reworked. Jobs got homogenized a little bit. That's a whole separate thing. But I mean, they just kept adding jobs every expansion. And then with Dawntrail, they finally did what everyone actually wanted them to, and they made the game's normal difficulty actually kind of hard. Like, you actually have to pay attention in instance duties now that are story duties specifically, which came at the cost of alienating a lot of new fans, but also was exactly what everyone wanted. And now things like alliance raids are actually difficult, like they're supposed to be. There was like a lot of issues with like Endwalker's alliance raids where they were just too goddamn easy. You could melt every boss in seconds.
Yeah.
And then right now they're doing a Final Fantasy XI crossover for the alliance raids, and they have been hard. They've been like genuinely really tough for casual players, and that's what we wanted. It's great. The game's actually a challenge now. And then like with Savage Raiding, they're simultaneously making it make more sense so that more people can get into it, and also making the instances themselves way more complicated and way hard. And I love it. It's great. But the story is flopping, and all the new stuff they're doing is flopping harder.
That's fun.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like there just needs to be an end to a game.
Yeah, and they said specifically they want it to last another 10 years, which you can do that if you start a brand new arc and make it good. And that's what this expansion was supposed to do, and it was 50% exposition, because that's the only thing they could have possibly did.
Well, no, I feel like
I'm with Pep, where I feel like the narrative needs to end, and we need a sequel or something like that.
No, for sure.
And like
that's been the exact problem with Dawntrail, is Endwalker ended the story so like cleanly and so perfectly, to where Dawntrail's story doesn't even involve the protagonist anymore, because there's no way to make that make sense anymore. And it just feels like we needed a full blank slate, or Endwalker could have just never.
Yeah.
It sucks because I want to keep loving this game and I want it to continue for 10 years, because MMOs need to survive. Once they start to fizzle out,
that's true.
It's so depressing. And there is a way to do it, but I mean, Dawntrail, just the way that they wanted to do it with the same protagonists and just a new cast of characters, it had to be all exposition and it had to flop. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, one of the reasons I stay up on Destiny 2 is because there's a Star Wars themed expansion that's going to be coming out in December, and like I'm trying to stay up on everything. So yeah, but right now the best part of that game are all the bugs that are in it currently because of spaghetti code in there.
But that's the thing. That's
right now. If you have the the lightweight sword and there's no ammo, if you jump light attack, it does like 20 times as much damage. And like, you know, I don't know if you remember the Sturm. If you shoot with the other gun, and so it loads the round into the Sturm, it's boosting all of your abilities damage. It's supposed to boost the bullet by 4, but it's boosting all of your abilities by 4 as long as you have that buff. So people are just having that, and just running around and doing stuff. But Renegades is going to be great, Nick, and the way that they've talked about how your lightsaber is going to be sounds really cool, where you're finding different pieces to put it together, and then that it's going to have different functions depending on how you put it together, which is going to solve some of the problems with having a no vault space.
See, the main issue I have with MMOs that last as long as they do, like saying that they want Final Fantasy 14 to last for another 10 years, is that the tech is going to be left behind, and you're going to have a World of Warcraft problem.
Yep.
Where the tech is based on an engine that is, for the most part, deprecated, and they have to add tools to it to retrofit it, but that is not that's not a solution for the long term.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with spaghetti code and random issues down the line, and you don't know how. The
way that Creative Studio 3 is trying to like combat that is Dawntrail came with a required next-gen update. Like, you cannot play the current expansion without the game being fully ported over to more modern platforms. It doesn't. Which sounds like a good fix. Like, they make you download like a benchmark before you can install Dawntrail. It's like, make sure your PC is strong enough to run how the game is now. And like, that's a great concept, but it's still the same engine. It still has the same like anti-aliasing problems. It still has the same general performance and internet connection issues, and that's always going to be there. No amount of next-gen update is going to fix an MMO because there's just too much.
Yeah, you can't retrofit an engine to fit contemporary like draw limits and kind of polygonal cost or tax, as it were.
Yeah, even after this huge next-gen update, the game still doesn't look phenomenal, and it's never gonna. They need to completely redo it, but that's never gonna work.
And I use World of Warcraft as an example because their engine is
Ancient.
20
Yeah.
years old. Over 20 years old. And when they update characters' graphic models, there's only so far they can bring them.
Yep.
Right? They're not going to be like, okay, we're going to update the human models now, and it's going to look like Death Stranding. No, it's not. You can only add like maybe 5,000 more polygons across the entire model. But that's why, like, you need to update the engine. The engine is the foundation that you build off of. So, like, if the engine is 20 years old, that means its limitations are 20 years old.
Yep.
That's why we need more competition.
Yeah. And 14 was designed to be a PS3 game, and it's always going to have that stank. It's always going to have that PS3 stank.
Yeah. I will be back for Renegades for the lightsaber, but, like, honestly, like, my heart isn't in Destiny anymore. I do, like, a huge part of me is with it because I played it from Alpha 1.
For sure.
Destiny. And then Destiny 2 came out, and I've supported it throughout all of these years, but, like, just what they did with the studio, the heads, the studio heads, the execs, how they fumbled everything. But it also comes down to just the basic argument that I've laid out this past 10 minutes was games need to end, and you need to start allocating certain runway to something new. If they released a 14.2, and started a new chapter, a new story, if they released a Destiny 3, if they stopped, like, development of these episodic updates and, allocated funds to work on a Destiny 3 instead of working on Marathon and then Destiny 3 and trying to stretch their studio thin. And that's like,
it's no longer about a vision or an idea. It's beating a dead horse. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I've wanted for the longest time World of Warcraft 2. Like,
right? Yeah.
You have to update that engine. And when I was working on Lotro, before Embracer acquired the IP, we were working on Lord of the Rings Online 2.
Yep.
But as soon as Embracer acquired the license, all of those plans stopped. And
I hate Embracer so much.
We were working on, like, updated character models, and we were bringing in, like, diverse character models too. But again, that engine's from 2007.
Yeah.
And, like, we can only do so much with that. So
it feels like everyone's starting to have that moment where they see how bad the industry has gotten with stuff like that, and they finally just snap and give up hope. And for me, that was pretty recent. I'd like to say I held that hope a little longer than I should have. But when Perfect Dark was canceled, what was that, a month ago by Microsoft? Literally the same week that the Tony Hawk remix came out, which was the game I was most excited for this whole year. All of that excitement died instantly because Microsoft once again showed their hand and was like, we don't actually care about any of these games that we're reviving. Or any of these teams, or any of these people, any of these jobs. No, we're just going to shut the whole studio down when they were almost finished with the goddamn game.
And this is why I'm trying so hard to get a position at Nintendo. Now they have their peaks and valleys, Nintendo, but one thing that Nintendo does is that their executives take pay cuts rather than issue layoffs, which I think is something that's sorely missing from just the industry as a whole.
Yes, Nintendo's issues are more so consumer side, so I get it. Yeah,
I mean, just the fact that, like, right after Marvel Rivals dropped, they just cut a whole bunch of people from that team. It's like,
oh my God,
they just did this whole successful thing, and you're like, all right, bye. what do you?
I stopped playing the game instantly when it happened. and it just sucks. But yeah, Nintendo, on the other hand, they will keep their projects going, and I do appreciate that.
Which is why
Faith, have you jumped into Lost Soul Aside?
I know about it, but no, not personally yet.
From what you've described, it felt like it might be up your alley.
I mean, look, I mean, I've seen lots of things. I remember when it was first announced, but I have not actually like dove into it. I should do that.
But I love stories like Larian. Stories like, I forget the studio behind Expedition 33, but like it's a French studio, but like,
I mean, 33. It's 33 people who left a AAA company, and they were like, we're just gonna do what we want, and they did.
And it's those stories that kind of lend credence to the fact that like you don't have to follow the data. You just have to trust the creativity of your artists and your tastemakers.
I mean, it's the everlasting battle between art and capitalism, right? The art is so compelling that people just want it, and then people are like, well, now I need to capitalize on that and milk it until it's dry. And then they're like, well, we can only do this. And you're like, but being creative is what gave us this. Therefore, we need to, invest in that.
It sucks because we're simultaneously at this time where really, really big companies, Microsoft and Sony, Embracer, are just doing the worst possible things to the entire industry at the same time that smaller studios or like Splinters and Nintendo are making what everyone's always wanted and putting as much creativity as they've always wanted into it. Like, yeah, Nintendo might be re-releasing Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 at $70, which is unbelievable. But they're also letting Metroid Prime 4 exist. They're letting Kirby Air Riders exist. They're bringing back franchises that people thought were going to stay dead forever. F-Zero came back. And, like, Okami
really?
is
I
coming
did not
back.
know that.
It didn't come back fully, but it got a... have you ever played Tetris 99 on the Switch?
No.
Okay, so it's like... That like, started this whole, like, series of, like, taking an older game and making it a battle royale. And they released an F-Zero Battle Royale, and it was so good. It was like so goddamn good. And like putting Nintendo aside, Capcom's bringing back Team Cherry. They brought them back together to bring Okami back. Onimusha's coming back.
Yeah.
And there's just so much creativity that still exists, but there's so many companies that won't let it.
I mean, Street Fighter 6 has been great.
Phenomenal.
Since, like, I think the last one I truly loved was Third Strike. 4 was okay, 5 was kind of and then 6 kind of like brought me back.
6 feels like the closest to Third Strike we've ever gotten.
And my queen is coming back, so.
Who's your queen?
See Viper or?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say that's two options unless you're gonna say that Sagat is your queen, which I would say. But
Viper.
No, ever since Street Fighter 4, see Viper.
No, she's lovely. I love her. I'm very excited for this season. I don't even play a lot of Street Fighter right now, but I am a big fighting game person.
I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but I'm still waiting for Fei Long to come back. That was my main in 4. My friend's still waiting for Makoto.
Yeah, I mean, character-wise, I'm honestly pretty happy, but it's Capcom fighting games in general. I'm still waiting on Capcom vs. SNK3.
Yeah,
waiting for long enough. They keep edging us with it. Like they re-released both CVS games, which nobody thought would ever happen. And then,
I love Chaos.
And then Terry and Mai, Street Fighter 6. There you go.
Have you tried playing 2XKO?
I have not, because its release structure has kind of like bugged me a little bit. I really do love League of Legends characters, and I think that the Riot making a fighting game is the best idea ever. But I just, with how slow and like just quiet they've always been, and now that like what early access is coming out and it has almost no content, I kind of stopped caring a little bit. But I think it could be good.
Nick says, I want to be good at fighting games, but I was really good at the Injustice games, and those are so easy compared to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
That's fair.
I mean, like, I always say this to people. It's like, you can't pick up a fighting game and be good. You have to work at it.
You have to
Absolutely.
grind. It is.
Yeah.
It is so.
And sometimes not only you have to grind, you have to grind through the whole genre until you like find one that's like, this is the one that I like thinking to be good at.
And then there's no guarantee it'll stay around.
No, like
You know how much I grinded what Project M? But
yeah. The only
I was
fighting game
really good at Project.
the only fighting game I was ever good at was Samurai Shodown, and
It's a
like
good one to be good
it had this huge boom when it came out. I got top 3 at a local once, and then the game died out a month later. Creature, funny creature on here.
Yeah, I actually got up to I did a national competition at the
Nice.
Googleplex for Project M.
That's awesome.
I should have my claim to fame is I got into the pro division, but I really shouldn't have. I was not anywhere near good enough, and I got destroyed. But
Yep.
but I was
like
there, you know.
The issue is all the fighting games that I feel like I could learn to be good at are ones that people just don't play anymore. Like who's playing Melty Blood Type Lumina? Who's playing Sam Show or Under Night in Birth?
Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to get into Under Night in Birth.
Under Night's awesome. It's so much fun.
I might get into it.
Mm.
But then I think about all the books I have to read.
I just play it. I couldn't tell you anything about the characters. It's like Melty Blood ish.
There is a game that I'm super excited for called Duet Night Abyss.
Hmm.
They just did a stream where they completely removed every single gacha system.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like Genshin Impact, but everything, all of the characters, all of the weapons you can earn, and they've removed stamina so that you can just farm and grind to your heart's content and play at your own pace. And with the microtransactions, they're sold on shard by shard basis, so you don't even have to spend like $75 on a whole character, right? You can farm like 30 shards and then buy like the 2 that you need to unlock them. Their entire live stream announcing all of these changes has ignited like the gacha game like community.
And I love when this stuff happens. I mean, again, I mentioned Marvel Rivals. There was so much stuff in Overwatch that we were like, Overwatch, do this, and like we can't. Marvel Rivals drops, and they're like, all right, yeah, no, we can do it. Sorry, like.
And that's the thing. Like when Duet Night Abyss comes out, I was such an avid, Genshin Impact player until like I realized I was spending hundreds of dollars just trying to, rank up my characters.
Mm-hmm.
But then like when this comes out, they remove the gacha system. I'm like, I need to reward them, and I need them to know that I will play a game that is like this without gacha.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get everybody to play Duet Night Abyss when it comes out. I think it's coming out October next month.
Oh yeah, I will be playing it.
Did you watch that hero video that I linked?
Oh yeah.
You picked your squad already?
I think I'm gonna go with the girl with the scythe. I like.
Okay.
Isn't Marvel Rivals just an Overwatch reskin essentially? Not really, but they're in the same genre. And
yeah, the hero shooters
they're definitely
are
competing.
Yeah. But in terms of gameplay, there's a lot of really distinct differences.
Mm-hmm. What's funny is the best hero shooter I've ever played was a Roblox game, and people think I'm insane for that. But no, there's this like Roblox game made by a small team. It's called Fighting with a PH, and it is the most creative hero shooter I've ever played. It plays like a dream. It controls phenomenally. It's full of like garbage retro slop, which is like my thing. The music is made of like Sonic and Rhythm Heaven samples. Like it was made for me specifically, and it's a goddamn Roblox too.
All right, so the results of our poll, which is did you like this stream? We have 75% my allegiance is to the Republic, 25% you will not take her from me. Which means 75% of you didn't like the stream. But of course, my choices are a little ambiguous.
Yeah, I voted on it, but I just I didn't know that's what it meant.
No, that's fine. Let's see. We are headed. Well, we're 13 minutes over, but that's what happens when the conversation's great.
Glad I could prevent.
I want to thank Faith for being on. Such a blast having you on. The conversation
Really glad to hear
was,
it.
I'm glad that we were able to. There's so much to talk about. So like when
Yes.
we can't or refuse to promote Disney, then we just go to the everything else that we're a fan of, because there's so much out there that we can get excited about. Shout out to everybody
and
on the
every
TikTok
person
side.
contains multitudes. There's a lot of people that'll be like, "Oh, you guys only do Star Wars." I'm like, "No, I like skating and Midwestern
too.
emo and cars." And,
I
like,
want to get along with you. At least just like a point for point here. Hell,
Listen,
yeah.
if you had asked me before this stream that we would be talking about Initial D and cars, wouldn't have guessed it.
that's the most Battleborn. Man, I remember those days.
Oh yeah.
Did we ever play Battleborn?
No, I was like, which one should I get, Overwatch or Battleborn? Because they were both dropping near the same time, and it was like a big, it was like asking all these people, and Battleborn was kind of DOA.
Gigantic. That's a great studio name.
Yeah.
I work at Gigantic. What does that even mean? I want to thank everybody on the TikTok side for rocking with us, everybody on the YouTube side and the Twitch side for tuning in and sticking around, even though the title of the stream was Star Wars Talk. We talked some Star Wars.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Old slop mostly.
Choco, do you have any final words? Any chuds you want to dunk?
I mean, just like I just said, everyone contains multitudes, so it doesn't matter who the person is. Put out what you love, and someone will love it. Even people that you never thought in a million years would share your passion, they're out there, and they do.
There are more of us, Bo. There are more of us. Faith, do you have any final words? Do you have anything you want to plug?
Okay. Other than plugging my own stuff, I'm expanding my editing style, trying to be more like action figure and collecting focused. If you like that, check out my channel. Other than that, the best final word I can provide you with is The Screaming Citadel is a good comic, and if you disagree, you hate fun.
I just always laugh about Luke being like, "Oh, this girl, she's kind of good looking."
And the way that she plays,
Yeah,
she's
you're-
playing with it, it's funny.
you're not, wrong tree, buddy.
Nelly signs us out with peace, love, respect, understanding, empathy for all, regardless of different opinions or lifestyles. And that's a creed worth living by. If you
Yeah.
don't
I
like
also
The
wanna
Last Jedi, I'm still your friend. And if you like The Rise of Skywalker, I'm still your friend.
And I do want to thank everyone involved, especially with this episode, with you, Illy, with you, Faith, because you guys lifted my spirits. I was down in the dumps all day, so I feel normal again.
Okay, I feel like I need to play something to add to that energy. So let's see.
I mean, you gotta set it up fast.
I mean, I only just thought of it now, but we're gonna do it just as like an ending.
Wait, what is that?
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Is this our new
Hey,
That's probably all I can play. Maybe I can
You
scan
want a
forward
soda
really
pop?
quickly.
My little soda pop.
There we go. All right, Choco, what did we learn today?
We are all the Republic.
And as Dean always says, we're all freaks.
Oh yeah.
All right, see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace.